Interesting. Wow. Oh, what is this antiquated book about? Oh my goodness. How embarrassing. I forgot the show was started, guys. I apologize. Welcome in. Here I am lawyering. Oh gosh, how embarrassing this is. Oh, this is awful. Oh, goodness gracious. Guys, I'll never recover from an embarrassment like this. I apologize. My sincere apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, how embarrassing is that? Welcome in. We've got some First Amendment to discuss today. Wow, we've got a lot to discuss. We might have. Oh, someone sent me a bird box. I forgot this was playing. This has been great, by the way. Whoever sent that, thank you. We got a lot to talk about. Brian Harpole has sued Candace Owens, not threatened to sue Candace Owens, not thought about suing Candace Owens, not fired a shot across the back. No, filed a lawsuit. I think he filed a lawsuit. Finally had a chance to read the lawsuit. It's kind of embarrassing. If we're being honest with each other, it's kind of embarrassing. We're going to go through it in detail. I wasn't going to do that. We had a whole other show planned for today. We were going to go and do a deep dive on, and it's kind of screwed up my whole opening. We were going to do a deep dive on the bunker situation that they're building at the White House, the contracts and how it's not what they said it was, and how you're actually on the hook as a taxpayer for this, and how it's really looks like it's a Stargate or some kind of portal they're building underneath the Bayal room, and how it's really just all a big lie, and it was a huge operation, and the fact that it's happening at all makes me really wonder what even really happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Was it what we were told? We've been looking at who filmed the famous video of Erica Franzfeld running out of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Is it who we thought it was? Well, we've looked at all that to the point where I'm sending really detailed pictures to people and saying, do you recognize this person? Because I think we have an image of who actually recorded it. So we're doing all this. And in the midst of all this, I get what I see as one of the poorest constructed lawsuits and one of the worst strategized lawsuits I think I've ever seen come down the pike. And I want to go through it in detail for a couple of reasons. One is, I think it's important to see the attack on this, the First Amendment. This is under assault, ladies and gentlemen. You may not have it much longer. So there's that problem. But it's beyond just the assault on the First Amendment. It's a bigger problem than even that. And when we go through it, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm really kind of, I don't know whether to go through the opening or just open. I think I'm just going to open the lawsuit and go through it. Because if I do the opening and then we end up spending so much time on the lawsuit that we don't have time to go through the Bayal room, you guys will say, what the hell what was that opening about? Because I like to have it kind of connect. So maybe I'll hold the opening till Sunday. So let's just launch into this thing. You have to see this lawsuit. I did watch Candace's show. I noticed she didn't pull it up and show it. I don't think. I'm going to. I'm going to pull it up. We're going to wander through this thing together because it's embarrassing. This thing is absolutely embarrassing. I don't know why they thought that this was a good idea. This is jurisdictionally. This is the United States District Court for the Middle District of Tennessee. That's a federal court. That's not a state court. I've actually had people ask about this. Why did they file it in federal court? Well, I think they would have had trouble filing it in state court. I think Candace could have probably removed it to federal court if she wanted to. But I don't even know if that would have been a good idea for her to try to do that either. But just the bare basics of this, Brian Harpole, if you do not know, Brian Harpole was I believe, the lead contractor for Charlie Kirk's security on the day he passed away. He headed up a company called Integrity Security Solutions or something like that, strangely named business, believe it or not. And what's interesting is, and something we'll ask is, how did Integrity Security Solutions come to end up with the contract for TPUSA? There's a backstory behind that, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. So we'll guys, I'm really doing everything I can not to play my clip last night talking to Mikey McCoy. I'm just being honest. I'm doing everything I can not to play the clip last night of me staring into the camera saying, Mikey, right here, be the first one to the courthouse. You're cooked. You're cooked. And you have a chance to save yourself. You're 23, dude. You got a baby on the way. You have a chance to save yourself. You can still get out of this. I'm doing everything in my power to avoid saying that. I don't want to be the guy to say it. I don't want to be the guy to say it. But I'm telling you right now, Mikey, go get a lawyer and go. I knew it. I've been telling you something's different with Mikey than the rest of these clowns. He has a conscience. Mikey's got a conscience. I've been trying to tell you guys. I can sense it. I can see it in his public appearances. I can see it in the way he conducts himself. I can see it in the way he stays out of the limelight. And last night I said, Dan Flood and Mikey McCoy, the two of them need to get to a lawyer because the first one to the courthouse gets a good deal. Everyone else is cooked. And if I'm Andrew, how do you even go to work tomorrow if you're Andrew Colvett? Knowing that someone in an executive position at TPUSA is reaching out to Candace Owens and saying, Andrew sucks. Andrew sucks. For the record, Mikey, I agree with you. Andrew does suck. Additional eyes do need to be put on him. We do need to look closer into Andrew Colvett. I do agree with you. I'd like to know, for example, when Andrew Colvett arrived in Provo. And by what route? Did he go to Scottsdale? Did he go to Provo directly from Santa Barbara? I'd like to know because that, to me, answers a huge question of whether or not there was a plot to remove Charlie Kirk and whether it originated or at least involved executives at TPUSA. That's a live issue for me. That's a very live issue. And you know who else thinks it's a live issue? Based on what I heard today, sounds like Mikey McCoy might think that's a live issue. Sounds like Mikey might think it's a live issue. Do you know how hard it was for me to open the show and try to just go right into the lawsuit? It was tough. I'll be honest with you. It's one of the hardest things I've done in a long time. The hardest things I've done in a long time. The amazing Mikey McCoy, the general. Now we know why they were gassing him up. Now we know why we know while we are aware that he didn't actually do anything. He didn't call and order the cars. He didn't call and order the flights. He didn't really take care of anything. He was laid up in the fetal position. Now we know why they were gassing him up and everyone was going out like, oh, Mikey was like a general. He was like Julius Caesar. He was like Alexander the Great, just marching into battle. Mikey stood tall, dark, and handsome though he is. Mikey was he was probably the greatest person. We know why they were gassing him up, in my opinion. They were gassing him up because they thought he was the weakest link, and now we know they were right. They were right. He reached out to Candace to say, check out Andrew Colvett. Mikey didn't commit suicide. I'll be the first one to say it. He did not take his own life. No, not Mikey McCoy. He did not. Mikey did not. Mikey, go to get a lawyer tonight if you don't already have one. You should be on the phone. It's 2 hours earlier there. I think it's 5 o'clock your time. Go get a lawyer. Reach out to the Utah County Sheriff's Office tonight, not tomorrow. I'll give you their numbers if you want them. I got the cell phone numbers if you need them. Call the Utah County Sheriff's Office. Call the Utah County District Attorney or District Lawyer, whatever they call themselves over there. County attorneys. Call them. Cut a deal. I mean, assuming you're aware of any illegalities, to be fair to what was said today, Candace didn't say that Mikey reached out and said, oh, Andrew was involved in illegal conduct. She didn't say that. Those words didn't come out of her mouth. But why else is Mikey reaching out to her? I mean, she's the mortal enemy of TPUSA, right? She's the enemy. She's the one they're trying to trash. She's the one they're trying to take down. She's the one they're calling demonic. She's the one they're going around. She's the one that Brian Harpole is suing. I want to go through this lawsuit. This is a big day in history. I'm telling you right now, the crash outs have been real. What happened yesterday with Erica Kirk dressing up like a ridiculous movie assassin, coming on TV, making obscene faces, letting her eyes go crazy all over the place, missing her appointment last night with the Making Heaven Crowded tour, Andrew and Blake crashing out on their show a few days before. Guys, if you're on TV, you're cooked. Mikey McCoy, go home. Go get a lawyer. Call somebody. Call me. Call me. Call me. Call someone, Mikey. Call someone. If you thought it was worthwhile to reach out to Candace and say, you need to take closer peepers on Andrew Colvette, and let me just tell you, I believe that phone call was made. I believe that phone call was made. I don't think she's making it up. I don't think she's making it up. All right, I want to get into this lawsuit. I knew I was going to get sidetracked. I wanted to get into it, and I knew there was a high likelihood that I would end up getting sidetracked. And I can't. There's just too much to cover, and I can't be on the air till like 4 a.m. It just can't happen. Okay. Do you guys remember last week when Larry Loomer was all over the internet trying to figure out where Candace Owens lived? You remember that? She was tracking it down, and she was like, oh, I found a magic trust, and it's got Candace's name on it, or George Farmer's name on it. Oh, wow. Let me tell you something. I've lived in this area for, a great chunk of my life. Middle Tennessee has a lot of well-to-do people, a lot of people in the music industry, a lot of people in healthcare, a lot of billionaires, a lot of 100 millionaires, a lot of tens of millionaires. No one owns their own house around here, not the wealthy people. The trust owns the house. This is a very standard process. This is just a normal wealth preservation tool that wealthy people avail themselves to. I'll give you an idea of wealthy people. You know, the guy who runs the Fox News evening news, Brett Baer, just in the last year or so, he sold his house in Washington, D.C. It was the most expensive house ever sold in Washington, D.C. Now, think of all the rich people who have ever lived in Washington, D.C. Only one of them lived in the most expensive house ever sold in Washington, D.C., and he was a news guy. Some of these news people make a pretty good living. And once you get to a certain level and you've got the president of France trying to sue you, and you've got strippers trying to sue you, as happened with Candace in the past, it's not unusual. Doctors, lawyers, business people, CEOs, music executives, performers. It's not unusual for these people to put their house in a trust. That's not strange. So it didn't shock me at all when Larry Loomer came across the fact that Candace's home was in a trust. That didn't shock me. I wasn't blown away by that. But when you see what's written here, defendant Candace Owens, a citizen resident of Williamson County, Tennessee, public commentator, when you see this, you now see why it was that Laura Loomer was trying so desperately to figure out where Candace lived. They were trying to establish jurisdiction. Let me tell you something about federal litigation, particularly federal civil litigation. Federal courts are courts of limited subject matter jurisdiction. That is an important concept to remember. Federal courts are courts of limited subject matter jurisdiction, meaning to be in federal court, you have to have both personal jurisdiction and subject matter jurisdiction. You also have to plead it. This may be a little too inside baseball for some of you. For some of you lawyers, this may be remedial. For everyone else, try to learn something. This is a high IQ outfit. We don't do low IQ around here. Limited subject matter jurisdiction, meaning to be in federal court, there has to be a statute that allows you to be in federal court. You can't just go down to federal court and file a lawsuit. The federal courts only will allow you to file lawsuits on particular things. One of those things is called diversity of citizenship. That's what she's pleading here in paragraph 2, diversity of citizenship. So in order to prove that, you've got to prove every plaintiff is diverse in citizenship from every single defendant. And so they're filing in Williamson, or they're filing in Middle Tennessee. Every defendant and every plaintiff have to be diverse from one another, meaning they reside in different states. They're domiciled in different states. So that's how they're getting in here. So it's not just enough, though, to have a diversity of citizenship. You also have to have an amount in controversy in excess of $75,000. Those are kind of the two elements of getting in under this statute. You have to have a diversity of citizenship and an amount in controversy in excess of $75,000. I saw a lot of people tripping up on this. Why is she mentioning $75,000? It's a jurisdictional requirement. That's all. And what they want to make sure is that you're not just going to the courthouse. You're not tying up precious federal judicial resources over a $50 discussion over a T-shirt someone stole from you. It has to be an amount in controversy in excess of $75,000. The only reason that's mentioned there. The only reason that's mentioned there at all. Now, I will say this. There are factual errors in this section. I'm not going to point them out because I'm not representing Candace and I'm not representing the plaintiff. There are factual errors here, and these factual errors could result in this case being dismissed on its face. I will say it is in one of these two paragraphs. That's all I'm going to say. It's the only clue I'm going to give you guys. Only clue I'm going to give you guys. In one of these two paragraphs, there is a fatal factual error. Now, could it be remedied by an amended complaint? Perhaps. But as of right now, it is not accurate. But that's, so let's go back up to the top. Who is Candace Owens? Candace Owens is a wealthy, influential, and well-known conspiracy theorist. Okay. None of that is required. None of that is required. In order to get in federal court, you don't have to prove the person you're suing is wealthy. They don't have to be influential. They don't have to be well-known, and they don't have to be a conspiracy theorist. They certainly don't have to be a well-known conspiracy theorist. And they don't have to have a massive social media following. So why are they putting this in here? If I'm the judge, if I'm the clerk for this judge, this pisses me off. This is an irritating opening paragraph. It's irrelevant to the facts of the case. It's irrelevant to jurisdiction. It's irrelevant to venue. It's irrelevant to any of the causes of action. It's sufficient to say Candace Owens falsely accused Brian Harpole of conspiring to assassinate Charlie Kirk. That's plenty. That's all you need. You just got to give you don't even really need that. You could just go right into the jurisdiction and venue. But if you're going to give a little intro, if you're going to give a little background, that's fine. She did so in coordination with Mitch Snow. I don't even know if Mitch Snow's real name's Mitchell. I'm not aware of that. Who fed Owens completely. Okay, this is so what happens is in a lot of these cases, you can tell cases that are meant to get. I'll tell you, when I read this, the very first paragraph, I thought, oh, this isn't a serious lawsuit. This is a joke. This is a joke. This is meant for the media. This is a well-known. Rule 8A only requires a plain statement of the facts. Plain statement of facts sufficient to support a claim, a cause of action. That's all it requires. You don't have to do the flourish. You don't have to add all the meat on the bones. There's plenty of time down the road to prove all this stuff. All you have to do is set forth a plain statement of the facts. You don't need all this. It's irrelevant. So why did you even include an introduction paragraph? Because we know that we're trying to get an outsized reaction on X, because that's why this was really filed. I'm going to give you my theory about why this was filed at the end. Then we've got the jurisdiction. Then we've got this. Actually, hold on. Yeah. So I would say I will go through the first 5 paragraphs. Let me correct myself. In the first 5 paragraphs, there's an error that I think could be fatal to the case, but I'm not going to point out to the plaintiff what the fatal error is. If Candace wants to know, I'll be happy to tell her. There's something interesting in paragraph 5, though. It says in paragraph 5, it says she's a public commentator, podcaster, and social media influencer. Which is, okay, so what you're saying is she gives her opinion? Public commentator, podcaster, and influencer, substantial following, publicists. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Fine. Let's scroll. We got the Mitch Snow stuff. Pretty irrelevant. All right, here's where it gets fun. Paragraph 10. This is where I feel like they made their biggest mistake. Candace Owens, an entertainer. That's almost case closed. That's almost, it's over. An entertainer entertains. Comedians are entertainers. Entertainers are not people typically who run around stating things as fact. If you're saying she said this in her role as an entertainer, we've got sort of an issue on our hands. This I thought was a relatively decent slight here in an effort to maintain relevance and increase engagement on her platform. She repeatedly makes inflammatory and highly controversial statements. Again, if you get to the point, if you plead enough facts, if you begin to make the case that this is just who she is, and I'm not saying this is just who she is, I'm saying they're making the case. This is if you get to the point where this is just who she is, at a certain point you run into the problem that she's not stating facts because she never states facts. You call her a conspiracy theorist, she makes inflammatory and highly controversial statements, all these things. And then he goes into this like it's the Jews thing, which I think is a very weird statement here, and it might tell us a lot about who helped draft this or at least who pushed this. For example, Owens has been publicly quoted as stating Jewish people were the ones trading us. Black people. Jewish people were in control of the slave trade. What does that have to do? What does that have to do with whether Candace defamed Brian Harpole? Well, it doesn't have to do anything. Then it says she hosted a podcast on PragerU. Well, if you know who PragerU is, that's a Zionist outfit. So you look at this and say, okay, paragraph 11 is about Jewish people. Paragraph 12 is about Jewish people. Now we go to paragraph 13 here. The Daily Wire terminated its relationship with Owens following months of controversy arising from anti-Semitic remarks made on the program. So why are we spending 3 paragraphs in the opening couple of pages talking about Zionism, anti-Semitism, and the Jews? Why? The judge doesn't care. You know what the judges' names are in Middle Tennessee? They're not like Goldstein. They're like Anderson, right? You're not pleading this in Manhattan. You're not pleading this in Palm Beach County, Florida. There's not like a Judge Goldscheid who's going to get this case, all right? This is going to go to a case with a guy like his last name Smith. So I don't understand where we're going with this, but it does help me to understand who might have been pushing this, who might have been help drafting this, who might have been really driving the cart on this. And that's important to me because it goes to motive. What is the motive of this lawsuit? Is it to win or is it something else? Is it to win or is it to something else? All right, let me go to page 17 here. Paragraph 17. Owen describes herself as an investigative journalist, though her work primarily consists of commentary, interviews, and opinion. Brian, let me help you out here. Plaintiff's lawyers, stay with me here. You're suing her for defamation. The last thing you want to do is point out everything she says is opinion. Opinion is not defamatory. Commentary is not defamatory. Commentary is opinion. Interviews are not defamatory. Interviews are someone else's opinion. So if it's not investigative reporting and it's opinion, and opinion, why are you suing? What is it you're trying to prove? Again, it goes to the motive of this lawsuit. It goes to the motive of this lawsuit. It is I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I'm not going to tell you what I think yet, because now we got to go back to the Jews. Got to get back there. For example, paragraph 19, she's used her podcast and social media accounts to platform baseless and malicious conspiracies. Baseless, malicious. Bridget Macron, the first lady, is secretly transgender. Guys, I didn't know that was still controversial. Everyone I talked to kind of looks around and goes, yeah, we watched it. Did you believe it? Yeah, kind of. It made a lot of sense to me. Have you looked at her? I mean, even if she's not, she was like 40 dating a 14-year-old kid. That's kind of weird, right? I mean, I'm not sure I would lead with this, Brian Harpole. I'm not sure this is the story I would lead with if you're trying to show that Candace is unhinged. I'm not sure this is the first place I would go. Second, the moon landing was fake. I honestly didn't know that was even still debatable. I think that's pretty mainstream view at this point in time. I think everyone under the age of 65 looks around and goes, yeah, I think it's pretty fake to me. Looks pretty fake and gay. Most people alive in America were not alive in 1972, the last time they supposedly went. Everyone's looking around going, why haven't they gone in my lifetime? I'm 46 years old. They've not gone in my lifetime. Now we got to get to the Jews. A slew of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, including, but not limited to, some group I can't pronounce is dangerous, responsible for the Iran war. Guys, again, be careful. I think most people assume the little country over there is responsible for the Iran war because most people in America look around and go, I don't think Iran could attack us if they wanted to. I'm pretty sure they can't. They don't have any missiles they can get here. They don't have any nukes they can. I mean, I don't think they could do much. So again, building secret tunnels through the United States. PM Beebster was responsible for the attacks of September 11th. Again, guys, I think you're kind of bordering on the fact that depending on which judge grabs this, they're going to go, oh, I didn't know Candace was so reasonable. We should tune in more often. I had no idea. I thought she was unhinged. As well as general Holocaust denial. You know who else was a Holocaust denialist, right? Okay. So this is only a small sample of erroneous and malicious rhetoric Owens advances. What does this have to do if you're trying to sit here and says she and make the point, make the case, prove to the judge this is an opportunity to talk to the judge and his staff, and all you're setting up is that nothing she says is true. But you want to sue her for defamation. You want to say no one takes this woman seriously. She's totally unhinged. She doesn't believe in 9/11. She doesn't believe in the moon landing. She doesn't believe in the Holocaust. She doesn't believe in the Iran war being necessary. She doesn't believe Brigitte Macron is a lady. And because she's totally nuts and totally out of touch with reality, and she's totally unhinged, and she says all this crazy stuff that no one could possibly believe, I want to sue her for defamation. That doesn't add up to me. That's a weird approach. It's a weird tactic. And then they go and they add actual pictures, actual screen caps of things she said. Again, if Judge Borstein was going to get this case, yeah, you might have something here. Go look at the slate of judges. There's only like 4 or 5 of them in the Middle District, Tennessee right now. Go look at them. They're not, they like have Irish last names. Like, I think there's an O'Shaughnessy. Every single person there's 9th great grandfather is from Western Europe, right? Or England. Okay. Now, we get to the fact where she is targeting Brian Harpole. She's targeting Brian Harpole. And what they do is they go through a series of conspiracy theories around the Charlie Kirk assassination, because they're saying she's gassing up these conspiracy theories here. Commonly spread theories include the existence of a second shooter who utilized a trap door and tunnel system to gain access to Kirk's speaking engagement. Is that common? Is that a commonly spread theory? I've been covering this case for almost 8 months on a near daily basis. I've listened to probably as many podcasts on alternative explanations for Charlie Kirk's demise as anyone in the country. In preparation for this show, and just because I enjoy some of the podcasters, I don't recall anyone saying this theory. I mean, I saw a few people on Twitter maybe very early on suggest it, but is that a commonly spread theory? Now you're lying, Brian. Now you're the one making stuff up. Hold, please. Kirk was killed by a small explosive device instead of a bullet. Well, that is common. Because honestly, it makes a lot more sense than a 30-06 stopped in 2 inches of neck muscle. But we go on. UVU's quick deconstruction of the crime scene was done to cover up a larger conspiracy theory. Yeah, you mean they covered up the crime scene? They literally covered up the crime scene? Is that what point 3 here is about? You're saying that's a conspiracy theory? Brian, on a Sunday morning, 4 days after Charlie Kirk died, they literally covered up the crime scene. They tore up the grass. They drove it away. They brought in pavers that they bought from Lowe's. No one with the university authorized it. No one knew what the hell was going on, and they covered it up, and then they put giant planters with daffodils in them. Again, as we talk about all of the things that are suspicious about that day, the actual covering up of the crime, often gets overlooked. But it's massive. The United States government intended to assassinate Kirk with Harpole involved in the alleged scheme. Well, that's the only one that really matters for this lawsuit, isn't it? And if you're saying the rest of this stuff's crazy, and Candace says it again, you're undermining your case. You're undermining your case. What you're saying is no one should take Candace Owens seriously about anything she says, except when she blames me. Then everybody knows she's telling the truth and she's being serious and people believe her. Owens is the most high-profile spreader of baseless Charlie Kirk conspiracy theories, but she is not the only one. I did not yet turn the page when I thought he has to be talking about Blake Bednarz here, because Blake Bednarz basically accuses, by name, Brian Harpole every single day of murdering Charlie Kirk. Like, frame by frame. He has a whole video called Judas Harpole. Like, for crying out loud, if you're going to sue anybody... Candace had somebody on and she was like, yeah, that's a close call. I'm not really sure what to make of that. We're going to sue her. And Blake Bednarz out here going, yeah, Brian Harpole, he did it. He absolutely did it. You can't tell me he didn't do it. Here's video of him doing it. Here's where he squeezed his hand. He's the one that did it. All up and down X, all over the X spaces, all over YouTube. And they're like, and then I thought, well, maybe they don't know about it because, Brian doesn't have a huge following. It's sizable, but it's not huge. So maybe he didn't know about No, he does. He does. It's right there. It's literally on the screen right there. And it says his name is Brian Harpole. And then it has like action shots. The detonator trigger is under his shirt below his wrist. It's like an actual arrow pointing the remote controllers in his front right pocket. This is what caused, he's not opining. He's not giving an opinion. He's telling you this is how the man died. That's what he's telling you. And I want to say this. This is actually some of the more mild stuff that Brian Harpole has put on Facebook and Twitter or Twitter and X and Twitter and YouTube. This is some of the more mild stuff. But you're not suing Blake because this isn't about correcting wrongs. This isn't about clearing your name. This isn't about any of that. I'll give you my theory on what it is. This is all, again, I blanket everything that I say here on this show with this word above my head, allegedly. But allegedly, all my opinion, I don't think this has much to do with actually getting to the bottom of clearing Brian Harpole's name. I'll get to my theory in just a minute. But I'm kind of on a roll. Now we go to page 27. Owens has likewise labeled the post-shooting behavior of Kirk's security team as shady. Then they put down pavers almost immediately and re-leveled that area. I do find that quite shady. I don't know what they were doing. Is this an admission that Brian Harpole was involved in repaving the scene? Because otherwise, I have no idea what the hell this is about. The post-shooting behavior of Kirk's security team is shady. And then it quotes her talking about the people who paved and leveled the area and that they were quite shady. Can I weigh in? I think the people who paved over the area, I think that whole thing is shady. If for no other reason than you do not destroy a crime scene 4 days after a murder. I mean, it's that 2 days after they caught the guy, and keep in mind, he was the third guy they have caught that they said did it. He's the third person that they alleged did it. Tyler Robinson. First they said George Zinn did it. Then they said some other guy did it. I don't remember if it was Zach Qureshi or Pascaldo, whoever it was, but they caught somebody else. They said he did it. And then they get Tyler Robinson. They said, oh, no, we were wrong the first 2 times, but we're really right this time. And like while all this chaos is going over, they're ordering the pavers to pave over the crime scene. That's shady, guys. I didn't know that was a controversial thing to say. But the way they've written it here, it makes it seem as if Candace alleged that Brian Harpole had anything to do with it. I think we need to get to the bottom of that. I'm only mentioning the next one because poor Gary, man. Gary's doing everything he can to try to get noticed out there. He's lobbing grenades at me every day. He's dragging up 15-year-old lawsuits I was involved in that I've talked about 100 times. I'm not even remotely embarrassed of. Acting like, oh, Barron, he ran a whisper campaign. Yeah, I admitted it under oath. I'm the one who filed the affidavit without being asked, by the way. Admitting to doing it, getting it out in the open. It's called having a conscience, Gary. It's called when you are working with somebody and then you realize they're also a bad guy and you want to go to the judge and let him know, hey, both these people are bad guys. That's the only way you can do it, Gary. But the problem is here, they didn't even bother to get Gary's real name. You know, this is Gary's one chance to shine. His one chance to shine. He's been trying so hard to get noticed. And he has one shot, and they don't even spell his name right. I get it, Gary. People spell my name with 2 R's all the time. I get people in my comments spelling it with 2 R's. It can be frustrating. I get it. Maybe you can join my group, Gary. MA, Misspelling Anonymous. These are people who struggle with when their names are misspelled. We work on breathing techniques, meditation techniques, so that it doesn't bother us. Poor Gary Milton. He does all this heavy lifting. And he gets his name misspelled. I feel bad for him. Poor guy. Poor guy. All right, now let's scroll down here because now we get to the fun stuff. Dan Flood shows up. Later in the episode, Owens explained that prior to the event on September 9th, Harpole corresponded with Chief Long. Well, we've talked about this. You know the reason Candace Owens thought that Brian Harpole was the one who corresponded? Because Brian Harpole, when he was on the Sean Ryan show, it sounded to me as a reasonable observer, as a relatively high IQ individual, a master logician, a First Amendment specialist, a guy who owns readers when he needs them. It sounded to me like Brian was saying these were my texts. Apparently, we were all wrong. Shame on us, Brian. But they go through this whole rooftop thing. And then at the end, he says, this is all false. All communications with Chief Long were handled by Dan Flood. Harpole was not involved. Okay. I'll get to the implications of that in a minute because well, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. If I'm TPUSA, I am terrified at this moment. Terrified. If I'm TPUSA, if I'm Andrew Colvett, and I've carefully tried to manage a total disaster of a CEO in Erica Kirk, someone whose affect is so weird so as to look possessed by the devil herself. And your job all day long is to manage that. You've got a CEO who replaced one of the most beloved political figures in America, and she looks possessed. And every time she talks, it's a disaster. It's gotten to the point where they have to tell her, all right, go spend time with your kids. Please, God, please go spend time with your kids. Stop insisting on going out in public. It's not working, girl. Stay home. And you're finally getting it under control. Then we learned today Mikey McCoy is reaching out to Candace Owens and saying you should check in on Andrew Colvett. Can you imagine the day Andrew Colvett's having? Now can you imagine the day the rest of TPUSA is having? Because as of this paragraph right here, there's some other paragraphs that this becomes an issue too, but as of this paragraph, we get to do a little discovery. We get to do a little discovery now. Because obviously, relevant to whether or not Candace defamed Brian Harpole are now Dan Flood's conversations with Chief Long. And if we want to know what he discussed with Chief Long, we probably need to see Dan Flood's conversations with Charlie, Erica, Mikey, the rest of TPUSA. I've got a long list of things I would want if I am leading the discovery charge. And I would say this, the discovery standard in federal court is very broad. Very broad. There are two major things that deal with evidence. One, in a civil case. One is the rules of evidence, the federal rules of evidence. That determines what a jury gets to hear. And a judge is sort of the arbiter of that. And there's some judicial review in limited cases. I mean, there's some appellate review in limited cases, but by and large, the trial judge gets to determine what the jury sees. But the other is Rule 26. That's the federal discovery rule. And in Rule 26, Section B1, we get the standard, the scope. The scope is very broad. It's basically anything you want that you think might be somewhat relevant at all. You get a look at. You get subpoena power. So all these questions, because this is such a broad lawsuit, basically what he's saying is Candace is accusing me of being involved at any level, involved in discussions in the days leading up to Charlie Kirk's demise. Well, okay, let's see every discussion TPUSA had for, let's say, 30 days leading up to Charlie Kirk's death of September 9th, September 10th. I want all 30 days. I want to go back to mid-August, early August. Brian, when he was being Big Bad Brian on the Sean Ryan show, liked to go out there and he liked to say, oh, yeah, we plan early and often. That's my theory as Brian Harpole. We like to really plan. We get ahead of time. There's all these apps. I want to see the apps. All this communication. I want to see the communication. Oh, we got schematics and drawings. We talked to the police. We'd like copies of all that, please. You're accusing me of lying, saying you were involved? I want to see. Were you involved? Because truth is a defense. And so I get to see it all. Every bit of it. And it's broader than that. We'll get into that. It's much broader than that. You guys have no idea how broad this discovery is. He is really screwed up. TPUSA screwed up. And whoever the outsider was who convinced Brian Harpole to file this, that person screwed up. This is a devastating mistake. This is the type of error people should never make. Ever. And we'll get into all that. I've got a long list of things I'd like to see if I am the lawyer on this case. I will not be, by the way. But he's saying Harpole was not involved. It was all Dan Flood. All right, well, that opens up all TPUSA employees as far as I'm concerned. That line right there. Communications with Chief Long were handled by Dan Flood. Okay, now we're in TPUSA employees camp. Now we're in the home office. Now we get everything. We'll get to that in just a second. Patience, my friend, patience. I'm licking my chops at this point. Keep in mind, I mean, wasn't it Dan Flood that Charlie Kirk allegedly texted and said, I think they're going to kill me? And they were dying to know, did you get a copy of that text? Have you seen that text? Well, we will now. Now we get to see it. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Dan, preserve it. If I'm Candace, I send a letter out tomorrow. Preserve everything for 6 months leading up to this. Don't delete a thing. Not a thing. Not anyone in TPUSA is allowed to delete anything from this point forward. They're all on notice. All of them. Oh, they're having a shredding party tonight. Don't you know it? Someone run by the headquarters and see how many cars are outside TPUSA right now at 5:45 p.m. after business hours. Somebody drive by there and let me see what cars are there. That's amazing. I bet it's packed. I bet it's packed. If I'm their lawyer, I'm telling them, you guys, before we get a preservation request, now's the time. I don't think that'll save you, though. I think a judge would see through that. Oh, wouldn't you know it? We just deleted everything. Standard April 30th. We delete everything on April 30th every year. I don't know why we picked that day. It's a weird day. I know. All right. Let's scroll down because I want to look at some Fort Huachuca records. Because according to Snow, as relayed and published by Owens, there were 12 lieutenant colonels participating in a pretty important meeting at Fort Huachuca, September 9, 2025. Meeting was described as the type that is typically held ahead of an operation. Owens reported Snow told her when an operation is being confirmed, you have these final meetings, and they involve all higher-ups. You're trying to do this in a very isolated location where people are not going to accidentally happen upon you. Well, Fort Huachuca has been very mum on answering public records requests about who was there. They won't have that opportunity much longer because the federal rules of discovery are going to kick in, and they're going to have to provide all that. I venture to say they would probably have to provide all video camera records, all sign-ins, sign-outs, anything that they can't claim as a national security issue. I think it's all coming out. Confident he saw Harpole walking out of the meeting. We'll talk about how confident he was in just a moment. Claim Harpole was present at Fort Huachuca September 9 is verifiably false, as Harpole's travel records plainly place him in Dallas, Texas. Okay. I guess now we get your travel records for the last year, before and after. I'd like to see where you went. Like your American Airlines, your Delta, your Southwest, everything. I want to see it all. Where has Brian Harpole been? Because what he released publicly was not a travel record. What he released publicly was just an emailed reservation, which I have confirmed independently that he was on that flight. And I confirmed independently that he checked in to the, I don't know, the Captain's Club, whatever they call it. Some American Airlines has some club that you can check in ahead of time. Confirmed he checked in there, and we confirmed he checked in with one guest. We don't know who he was traveling with. Could have been a squeeze. Could have been a coworker, but we'll find out because we're going to get the records, obviously. I assume we'll get the records, and I assume Candace would be interested in discussing the contents of those records to some extent. I think this is what it's about right here. I think this line right here is what this whole lawsuit's about. Let me pull it up here so you guys can see it. I didn't realize I was talking to myself here. I think this line right here is what this whole lawsuit's about. To avoid any uncertainty, Brian Harpole has never been to Fort Huachuca, not ever. I think he wanted to say that publicly. I think he wanted to say it in a way where people thought he was serious. And my guess is, my opinion, allegedly, is he wanted that to be enough. He didn't want to put this to a jury. This whole lawsuit is written as if he's trying to get it dismissed. Either that or I question the legal strategy. I mean, it's one of those two. The whole lawsuit is written as if he's trying to get it dismissed. Like, there's so many what I see as fatal errors where they would have a tremendously difficult time surviving a motion to dismiss and an even more difficult time surviving a motion for summary judgment. But if he can put this line, Brian Harpole has never been to Fort Huachuca, not ever. If he can put that definitive statement out there in public, never have to prove it because the case gets dismissed or the case gets defeated on summary judgment and they never have to go to trial and you don't get all this discovery. And then he gets to walk away and say, I already said I wasn't there. I will give him credit. This is more than anyone else has said. This is more than Erica Kirk has said. She never said she's never been to Fort Huachuca, not ever. She never even said she wasn't at Fort Huachuca on those days that I'm aware of. If she has, I missed it. I mean, I'm open to the fact that I've overlooked or did not see it. But I think that's what it's about. Put this line in here, make everyone believe it. You said it. And then plead the case in such a way that a judge never would allow this to survive. It immediately gets dismissed. And you can say, I tried. We tried to do it. We tried to get the lawsuit. I wanted to hold her accountable. Some dadgum judge gummed up the works. You know how dadgum judges are. Activist judges, not real judges. And we can't even sue to quiet these people. We're going to have to restrict the First Amendment, dadgummit. We're just going to have to restrict the First Amendment because not even the judges will uphold fairness in this country. We're going to have to take these podcasters down. We're going to have to take them off the air. We're going to have to go after the platforms. We're going to have to go after the podcasters. We need to file more laws. That's what this is about to me, in my opinion. Because if you wanted to plead a case to hold Candace Owens accountable for all these things, you wouldn't say 90% of this. You wouldn't say all this crazy stuff. You would just say, here's the jurisdiction requirements. Candace lives there. Here's where the business are domiciled. Here's who the owners are. Here's where Brian Harpole lives. Here are the 4 defamatory statements she made. Those are false and defamatory. Count 1, count 2, count 3. Have a nice day. You wouldn't file it 69 pages. And don't think that was lost on me. Nice. I thought that was almost like the meme. When someone said they filed a 69-page lawsuit, I was like, oh, come on. That's like when Elon Musk offered $420.69 a share for X, for Twitter. Like that was his offer, and then they held him to it. And to his credit, he came up with the money and paid for it. But it was obviously a meme amount. It wasn't a serious amount. It's a 69-page lawsuit. Come on. I probably should say, come on. Don't pull my leg. Well, I probably shouldn't say that either. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. No one files a 69-page lawsuit. Not one like this. No, friends. That is ludicrous. All right. Let me scroll down to paragraph 47, because this is when we get to have a little bit of fun. This is when we really start to open up the can of discovery whoop-hiney. December 16, 2025, Owens retweeted an X post which asked, who is Brian Harpole? Responding to the question of who is Brian Harpole, Owens responded that Harpole was Charlie Kirk's security officer that didn't so much as pack his wound after he was shot. The implication here is that Harpole intentionally let Kirk bleed out and die from his gunshot wound instead of rendering aid. Oh! Well, we're going to have to do some discovery here, boys and girls. We're going to need to see those meta glasses everyone was wearing. You're going to need to see the footage. Oh, you deleted it? Oh, okay. We're going to need a jury instruction telling people that they had a reasonable basis to assume that footage would be relevant to a lawsuit, and they deleted it intentionally, and it probably, or the jury's free to conclude that it was incriminating. It looked bad. It would have aided the defendant. Let's see those text messages, boys. Let's see those text messages. Let's see the plan. What was the plan if he got taken down behind the table? What were we going to do? Let's see those watches. You guys were looking down at your watches left and right. What was on those watches? Were you getting text messages? Let's have those. Let's have those forensically examined. Let's see what's in there. I bet we could get those glasses forensically examined too. Maybe they have some footage still stored in there. Let's see those security plans. Let's see what they look like. What did they say you were going to do? Let's see that autopsy report. Let's see the medical records. What did they say? Did they show evidence that the wound was intentionally opened, packed? Did they show that when he showed up, was there 32 feet of packing inside the wound, like you said? I mean, I think it's relevant. Let's see the records. Let's depose the doctor. Let's depose the medical examiner. It's all relevant now. Let's see that. Let's see the video footage. Let's see the actual video footage Terrell Farnsworth has. I want it from behind, not clipped up, not show. I want it all. Let's see that footage from the front. You know, the one that was showing the slow-mo of right here from the front left that really would show us perhaps whether there was a hole in the shirt that I think would be dispositive of the case. I think there was. If you guys are wondering why I'm so insistent on continually bringing that up, I think there was a hole in the shirt. That's why I think the shirt's probably missing, if I had to guess. Probably why they tore it off of him. You know what I mean? It's just a guess. It's just my guess from looking at the footage. It looks to me like a hole appears here. And if a hole appears here and the gunshot was up here, guess what, boys and girls? The gunshot could not have caused the hole. Well, what caused the hole? I'd like to know. Because my theory is something under the shirt came up and poked through the shirt and got into his neck. I think that's a pretty safe theory from my perspective. It's an opinion. It's allegedly. I think the shirt would be pretty dispositive. And I think that camera to the front left might show that. So I'd like to see that camera. And I get the chance to now. You guys screwed up and filed this stupid lawsuit. And so now we get to look at the camera. And the camera behind, and the meta glasses, and all the text messages, and the security plans, and the autopsy, and the medical examiner report, and the treating physician's doctor's report. Basically everything that would prove whether or not Brian took steps to render aid, proper steps. Because when we look at the footage from afar that YouTube won't let us show anymore, probably because of what it shows, not because it shows gore, but because it shows inactivity, in my opinion, allegedly. When we see that footage, we see a lot of people standing around looking like they're not doing anything. There's not a lot of life-saving that looks like it's taking place, in my opinion. And I've never been in that situation. I've never been a first responder. I've never been a security guard. I've never treated a dead or dying person at my sitting in front of me like that. Never happened. So I don't, but I would like to see all the footage. I'd like to see it in all its gory detail. I got to know what's going on under that table to know if Candace defamed him. Thank you, Brian, for the opportunity to look at all of it, because I've had these questions a long time, but not had the opportunity to actually get a hold of all this. But now we do. Now we do. So thank you, Brian. Great job. Great job. Now, let's get to the actual, was he defamatory? Because I think this is kind of going to dismiss the case. If Candace wanted to file a motion to dismiss, I think this is where it gets dismissed. Paragraph 52. Owens then asked Snow how certain he was that Harpole was at the Fort Huachuca meeting. Snow responded 95 to 99%. So you're saying he did not say that Brian Harpole was at the Fort Huachuca meeting? The first 51 paragraphs seem to indicate that's exactly what they were saying. And now you're saying he didn't actually say that, but that he said he saw someone that looked similar? And there was some hedge. So this is an opinion? Oh, dismissed. Dismissed. We get to dismiss the case now, guys. Dismissed. Order in the court. Order in the court. Everybody settle down. We're dismissing this case. He didn't even say it. And you guys put it in there almost as if you wanted it to, almost, allegedly, in my opinion. This is not the last time we're going to dismiss the case, so I don't want this going far. We're going to need it again in just a minute. We'll pick the gavel back up in a minute. Calm down, calm down. Because it's just right here where we're going to have to dismiss the case again, ladies and gentlemen. Because we find out that on December 17th of 2025, now, apparently fearing a lawsuit, I don't know what that means. That's not a pleading. That's not a plain statement of the facts. That's your weird intuition. But this is a fact. Owens reached out to Harpole. Wow. Wonder what she wanted. Oh, asking if he wanted to have an off-the-record discussion. Oh. I wonder what that was all about. If only there was some way we could find out what this off-the-record discussion intended to be about. Harpole did not respond. Well, that's weird. You felt like she defamed you. I think I would want to know questions, but he chose not to respond. Well, I wonder if there was a way. Oh, there it is. We have a way. We can find out right here. We've got the actual text. Well, let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put on our specs. Let's get to reading, guys. Okay, here we go. We'll read together. You ready? Hi, Brian. Well, that's awfully friendly. That's awfully friendly. This is Candace Owens. Oh, me llamo Candace. Okay. Gotcha. A lot of people telling me that you're planting seeds regarding a lawsuit. Oh, okay, interesting. Wanted to see if you wanted to have an off-the-record discussion with me about anything, or if you'd like to simply clarify something that I got wrong. Oh, well, that's weird. Because if you're worried she was defaming you, and that what serious lawyers do, they bite the end of their, not like Paul Newman. Can't you picture F. Lee Bailey leaning back in his chair, glasses in his mouth? So you're telling me the woman you're suing? I can almost picture how the examination. So the woman you're suing, she reached out to you? Oh, interesting. She did, huh? And what did she want? She wanted to know if you would help her correct the record. Did I hear that correctly? She wanted to know if you wanted to correct the record. What did you say? What did you say in response? Did you correct the record? Salvage your reputation, sir? Did you tell her where she got the story wrong? What do you mean you didn't respond? You weren't concerned? You weren't concerned that she was defaming you? That must have been the only time she reached out to you. Is that correct, sir? Surely there wasn't another indication of her reaching out to you. Obviously, this was a one-time thing, right? Okay, well, let's read on then further, shall we? Owens then used Harpole's silence to further defame him. Oh, well. On the December 19th episode of her podcast, Owens implied Harpole's failure to respond to her text message was suspicious. Well, isn't it? Isn't it suspicious? If you accused me of participating in someone's death, and then you reached out to me to say, hey, please, did I tell me if I got it wrong? And I did not respond. And I was confident you got it. And I know you got it because I'm reading it in your lawsuit. I'm looking at it. It's right there. There's a cruel irony of the fact that sometimes to repair glasses, you need a tiny screwdriver and a tiny screw, but you can't see either of them because you can't wear your glasses and fix them at the same time. What a cruel world we live in. This is God having a sense of humor. This is proof God's a comedian at heart. Oh, yeah, I'll give you a tiny little screwdriver and a tiny little screw in case your glasses need to be repaired. Oh yeah, but you're not going to be able to wear your glasses while you're repairing them. Here we go. Got them fixed. In the same podcast, Owens again placed Harpole at Fort Huachuca, characterizing the alleged meeting as a form of planning or coordination related to the assassination of Coik. She stated that she found Snow's narrative to be compelling. She'd been given travel logs for Brian Harpole, and it's highly possible that Harpole could have made it to that meeting. I can tell you definitively, Harpole could have made it to that base for that very early morning meeting. This is blatantly false. Mr. Harpole, what is that there on the screen? I see the beginning of what appears to be some sort of a screen cap. It's got a number at the top. It says 344. What is that number there, Mr. Harpole? Well, that's a time. What time of what, sir? The time you received a message. Well, who is the text message from here? Mr. Harpole? Oh, Mr. Harpole, are you saying on two separate occasions Miss Owens reached out to you to offer you the opportunity to correct the record? And you chose not to respond a second time? Is that what I understand, Mr. Harpole? Can we read the text message here together?
I'll read it. You tell me, Mr. Harpole, if I get this right here. I just want to make sure I'm reading it correctly. Here, you can look at your copy. Hey, Brian. Just again, reaching out in case you want to clarify your whereabouts on the morning of September the 9th. I'm only interested in the... Mr. Harpole, is this a fair and accurate representation of the text message you received on Friday, the December the 19th at 11:58 a.m.? It is? Do you read the line here where she says she's only interested in the truth? Do you see that line there, Mr. Harpole? It's kind of in the middle of this block of text here. Do you see that there? I'm only interested in the truth. So would be happy to debunk Mitch if perhaps he's misremembering the faces he saw. Mr. Harpole, you gave me a text message right here, Mr. Harpole. Mr. Harpole, let me read it again just in case the jury missed it here. Only interested in the truth. Did I read that correctly, Mr. Harpole? She's only interested in the truth. That's what she wrote to you on December 19th at 11:58 a.m. Is that what did I read that correctly? Okay, thank you. Would be happy to debunk Mitch if perhaps he's misremembering the faces he saw. Mr. Harpole, did I read that line correctly? Mr. Harpole, how did you respond to this text message? Surely, Mr. Harpole, you reached out to her in response to help correct the record. Tell me what you said in response. Mr. Harpole, you did not respond to her asking for clarification? Mr. Harpole, your case has been dismissed. You lose. Your case is dismissed. I am also the judge, not just the country lawyer sitting back here. Your case is dismissed, sir. You're foolish. You're unwise. And before we dismiss the case, we're going to do a little discovery. So undismissed. The case is undismissed. We got to look at the TPUSA records first, Mr. Harpole. Then we'll get to the dismissing. Surely, Mr. Harpole, surely that's the only 2 times she reached out to you for clarification. Don't let me find out she reached out again. I'm going to be a very disappointed counsel/judge. To this day, Owens has still not produced the alleged travel logs she referred to in this episode to give false credibility to the defamatory assertion she was promoting that Harpole had been part of an assassination conspiracy meeting at Fort Huachuca. She's never produced them because she knows they demonstrate that Harpole was in Dallas, Texas at the time of the Fort Huachuca meeting. At the end of her video, she received some comments from her viewers, specifically brought attention to and boosted one comment which expressed support for Snow and his false story. All right. Mr. Harpole. Surely there's no more text messages. Let's read just one more paragraph, sir, before we have to move on from this subject. Owens soon texted Harpole a 3rd time. Mr. Harpole. These are your lawyers, Mr. Harpole? Did you hire Candace's lawyers to draft the complaint for Candace, Mr. Harpole? Texted you a 3rd time, Mr. Harpole? Asking him again if he'd like to speak about the events that transpired on the morning. Well, surely the 3rd time's a charm, Mr. Harpole. I'm eager to hear how you responded. Owens concluded her text message by saying she found it odd she could not get Harpole to confirm or deny his location. I think it's odd. I mean, I'm back to Barron here. I think that's very odd. If someone is actively accusing me of being somewhere and I don't respond to that person when they reach out to me for clarification, it's almost as if they're admitting they were there. Allegedly, in my opinion.
Owens already knew why Harpole did not respond. Oh? Well, why? Her repeated text to Harpole to get him to respond to the defamatory conspiracy theories that she had been promoting present a cynical attempt to profit from the situation she had manufactured. By spreading defamatory lies about Harpole and then cajoling him to give her. You guys don't. Mr. Harpole, do your lawyers have a grammar textbook in the office somewhere? Do they subscribe to Little Brown's writing help book? Strunk and White? Any of the Texas legal writing manual? Anything that would explain the proper verb form of the word give? Oh, sorry, guys. I apologize for that. Give her the exclusive content of a response. She stood to profit from an increased attention and viewership to her platform at Harpole's expense. What's odd about this is what typically happens in a cease and desist situation or a lawsuit situation or a situation where someone feels defamed. I've received these letters. I think I'm the only podcaster who doesn't come on air and announce it when I receive these letters. I've received these letters. What typically happens is they want you to give their side of the story. They typically say, you've said something that's inaccurate. Can you correct it? Here's what actually happened. Candace just didn't wait for the letter. She proactively reached out and said, hey, I'd like to clarify. Is this accurate or not? No one in their right mind, like Candace got a cease and desist letter from TPUSA. Wolves in Finance got a cease and desist letter from TPUSA. Project Constitution got a cease and desist letter from TPUSA. All of them addressed it. All of them mentioned it. Not one time did someone say, that cease and desist letter only boosted the profits. Project Constitution probably made another 35 cents off that letter. Candace, but when she mentioned that letter, she probably got literally fives of dollars more than she would have gotten otherwise. No. In fact, that's not the way it works at all. The entire legal structure of defamatory law is if you feel like someone's gotten something wrong, you ask them to go to the platform and give it equal time. In fact, your cease and desist letter did that. You asked her to post something and leave it up for 30 days. You asked her you requested long after she had contacted you. But apparently a third time he reaches out. The hell are my glasses? I can't do this without my glasses. Oh, here they are. Ah, sorry. No, back to Mr. Harpole. I got one more question here because this here seems to be yet a third text message that you received from Miss Owens. Now we'll read it together here. Hi, Brian. I'm reaching out again to see if you'd be willing to speak about the morning of September the 9th. I'm obviously not trying to do anything other than debunk Mitch so I can pivot and refocus the investigation, but I oddly cannot get you to confirm or deny if you were there. Mr. Harpole. Did I read that correctly? Is it fair to say that the construction of the English language in this courtroom today would lead a reasonable believer, a reasonable reader, audience member, juror, to believe that her goal in reaching out to you was to debunk Mr. Snow? Because those are the words she used, Mr. Harpole. How, in the fact, sir, did you respond to this? Did you help her debunk Mitch? Did you provide the travel records that so definitively prove where you were on the 9th, Mr. Harpole? Did they?
Surely you provided a bulk of information because you have here a friendly person who you believe may have gotten the story incorrect. And she's looking here, Mr. Harpole, according to her words here, to debunk Mr. Snow and pivot away from you, sir. She finds it odd she can't get in touch with you. Mr. Harpole, if I'm being honest, I find it odd as well. So odd, in fact, Mr. Harpole, I'm gonna have to dismiss the case again. Dismissed. The case is dismissed, Mr. Harpole. Get out of my courtroom, Mr. Harpole. Judge, jury, executioner, out, Mr. Harpole. Don't you ever come back in this courtroom again, sir. You are kicked out of here. You've made a disgrace and a mockery of the judicial system. Defamation law may never recover. This is disgusting behavior, sir, allegedly, in my opinion. Guys, this is nonsense. This is absolute nonsense. I have never in my life seen a worse defamation lawsuit, ever. I've never seen a defamation lawsuit where they're like, yeah, you know, the person who defamed me was desperately trying to get the story right, but I wasn't going to talk to her. You know what newspaper reporters do? I made one cry one time. You know what newspaper reporters do when they're going to write a defamatory hit piece? There's a little trick they pull. They'll spend 6 months writing up this story, or 6 weeks writing up this story. They'll spend day and night, 12 hours a day, this 70, 80 hours a week, just banging away at the keyboard, writing up the worst hit piece on your client the world has ever seen. Defaming them left, right, and you know what they do in order to protect themselves? And it just gives them basically an automatic shield. They reach out to you. Now, they'll reach out to you like 20 minutes before the story publishes, usually about an hour. They'll say, hey, I'm putting this story up at 4 o'clock. Do you care to provide a response? And you've got to read the whole story, determine whether you want to provide a response, and then you have to respond to them. But in doing so, it's like an auto shield. Like no judge in the right mind is going to hold them accountable for defamatory conduct because they reached out to you. And if you put in there that I didn't do it, they're going to print it. They'll print, this is my investigation. This is what my investigation found. This is what Mr. Harpole said. You decide. That's what she was doing. Mr. Harpole. That's what she was doing. Soy. You cannot refuse to participate in the reporting process and then get mad that they didn't print your side. This is one of the most ludicrous things I've ever seen. And that's why, honestly, I truly believe they do not want this lawsuit to go forward. The discovery that would come out of this lawsuit would be so devastating. And I mean devastating, even if it's a 100% fact that Tyler Robinson planned and executed Charlie Kirk without the involvement of any other human being on earth. And everyone at TPUSA and everyone on the security team and everyone, Erica, everybody was just caught completely unaware. And they were like, wow, that's crazy. This discovery would still be disgusting. Nobody, particularly a political operation, wants months of their text messages, videos, phone calls. They don't want all that turned over. They don't want travel records. They don't want security plans. They don't want any of it turned over. Which is why I cannot possibly believe that TPUSA would have wanted him to do this. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is some cockamamie plan they've hatched up and put it all in Brian Harpole's hands and see what happens. Hope for the best. Last I heard, Brian Harpole had been fired. He was no longer part of the team. Scroll down a little farther.
Because here we have, despite having clear evidence that Harpole was not at Fort Huachuca on September 9, 2025, Candace Owens continued to claim that Snow's story was true. Because you wouldn't respond to her. That's it. You wouldn't respond to her. Anyway, on December 28, 2025, Owens posted on X that Snow's story regarding Fort Huachuca had been legitimized by his estranged son. That same day, she posted that Fort Huachuca story had been confirmed by others. This was all false. Harpole attended no such meeting, and there's no such evidence suggesting a meeting even took place. Well, there is evidence that Mitch Snow was there, and that's what was being confirmed. Because as we scroll, we'll see what we're talking about here. Do you guys remember when Gary Milton did the most amazing reporting and brought to everyone's attention that it was without a doubt indisputable that Mitch Snow was at Fort Huachuca that day? You remember the original attack on Mitch Snow was that guy wasn't even in the Army. That was the original reporting. He probably wasn't even in the Army. You know, I forget Valhalla. He actually, his shows were pretty funny at the time. He called him Private Sniffy or something. I don't remember what he called him, but it was funny. It was just banging on Mitch. Oh, nobody talks like this. Nobody acts like this. There's no way this guy has any experience. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, he did. He was in the Army, actually. Oh, and he was in this unit, as a matter of fact. But surely he wasn't at that base at that time. Why would he be there? It doesn't make any sense that he would be there. His story doesn't make sense. No one would go to the... And then Milton gets his estranged son up there, and his son's like, oh, yeah, he was there. They called me. They called me and said, your dad's here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Your humble host makes an appearance here, ladies and gentlemen. Has anyone done more the past few days to support the story real Candace Owens is putting forward than Gary from Paramount Tactical? First, he confirmed Andrew Colvett is directing the coordinated Fed slop response. And the next day, he confirmed Mitch Snow was at Fort Huachuca. Yes, he's put in a lot of work to confirm the Fort Huachuca story. And for that, we thank him. Yeah, he did. That didn't have anything to do with Brian Harpole. The question is whether Mitch Snow was there. The question was about a police report that had come out and whether he made it up. There was a cursor on the screen, all this other stuff. Hold on, I got to check some news real fast. Just got a text. Okay, I don't think it's correct. If it is, the news hadn't made X yet, but I just got a text that if so would be groundbreaking news. So I'll keep my eye on that while we're talking here. Okay. Now we continue. This is a good one here. Yeah, let's go down to paragraph 73 here. According to Owens' supposed tipster, there was no security plan in place at Charis Bible College. You remember that story, right? Everyone was concerned that Charlie was scheduled to go to Charis Bible College the next day. Now, I've got a tip on this that you guys may not know I have, that I don't even think Brian Harpole knows I have, and he's about to find out in just a moment. Claiming it was odd that Brian Harpole's team planned Kirk's security strategy for Utah Valley University 2 weeks in advance, but failed to contact the chief of police for Woodland, Colorado, to plan security for the Charis Bible College event. Owens specifically asked, quote, why didn't Dan Flood and Brian Harpole and Turning Point USA Security have any coordination with police departments up in Colorado if that's what they normally do? I want you to pay attention to this parenthetical reference here. So I'm going to let you in on a tip that I've received from inside of Brian Harpole's organization that he does not know that I know. But you're going to find out in real time in mere moments. Here is the parenthetical reference. Harpole did not coordinate with Charis Bible College. Yeah, we already knew that. Candace reported it, and we believe that what she says is true. Nor the Woodland Police Department. Yeah, we knew that as well. Candace reported it, and she's accurate. Because he, meaning Harpole, was not advised that Charlie would be visiting the school. It was not uncommon for Charlie to visit universities only with Dan Flood. Brian Harpole, I have a question for you, sir. On what flight were you expected to return from Utah Valley University? I'll wait for an answer. You did not have flight reservations that I'm aware of, according to your team. You did not have flight reservations from Provo. So if you were not intending to return on a commercial flight, how are you getting home? You see why the Discovery is going to be such a son of a biscuit eater for you guys? You see what the problem here is, Harpole? How are you getting home from Provo? You flew to Provo on American Airlines. You checked into the Captain's Club or whatever the American Airlines thing is. You checked in with a guest. Before you say I'm just making stuff up, you know that's right. Go check your records. I know I'm right. You checked into the American Airlines Club. I can give you the minute you checked in. I can give you the minute you checked out. I can give you the minute your ticket was scanned, sir. How were you getting home if you weren't going to Colorado the next day? How were you getting home? I had always assumed the reason you didn't have a return flight booked is because you were going to Colorado with Charlie. But if you were not in on the plan to go to Colorado with Charlie, how are you getting home? Where was your flight booked? Why didn't you have a flight out of Provo the next day or that night? There was no night event. The Provo event would have been over by like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Pack up the gear, make sure everybody's back on the bus or whatever they do. And where was your plane? What plane were you taking back to DFW? I think that's interesting. Because you just admitted you were not going to Colorado. Did you have a flight booked? Because remember in your interview with Sean Ryan, what you said was, sir, it was a crazy, you didn't get back for several days. Well, was that the plan? Was the plan all along it was going to be crazy and you weren't going to be back for several days and you didn't know when you were going to leave? Because short of Charlie Kirk being murdered, why would that be the plan? I would assume the plan would be you fly into Provo and you fly out of Provo. Where were you going after that? You flew in on American Airlines. You didn't have a return trip. Why not? I think Candace needs to get to the bottom of that when they do Discovery. You can't shred that, sir. That's my understanding, allegedly, my opinion, based on conversations with your team. You guys have no idea what we know. No idea. Pulling this bull butter, this garbage, you have no idea what we know. And I think that's going to be an interesting point of discovery in this lawsuit is where in the hell were you flying back to DFW and why did you not have a flight book? Were you just going to drive around on the Bonneville Salt Flats, taking a tour at the LDS Temple? What was the plan? You going to go skiing in Heber City? Park City? Oh, September, probably no snow. Hiking? You doing a little hiking? Or did you have a flight booked? If so, I'm unaware of it. I think that'll be an interesting point of discovery, sir. If that paragraph 73 is correct and you were not told about his visit to Colorado, when were you going home and how were you going to get there? Were you walking? A long walk. You are fit. You look like you're kind of in shape. Very curious about that. Very curious about that. All right, almost done here. Almost done going through the lawsuit. I don't get to break out my country lawyer routine very often. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. These don't get broken out that often. All right, a couple more here. Paragraph 78. Let's get into paragraph 78 here because I'm going to open up the discovery window just a little more. Just a little more. Since Charlie Kirk's assassination, Owens has intentionally proliferated a campaign intended to impugn the reputation of Harpole without even a modicum of substantiated evidence. She has publicly accused Harpole and Integrity Security Solutions of foreknowledge, participation in, and cover up of. Can I just go back to the legal writing textbook? Can we just, if we're going to use prepositions in 2 of the 3 of this little run here, can we get a preposition for foreknowledge as well? Foreknowledge of, participation in, cover up of, like some consistency, guys. Writing is important. Communication matters. You don't want to sound like, I almost said the R word. You don't want to sound like you're uneducated. A judge is going to read this, a federal judge. And a federal court clerk, and they're usually really smart. I mean, federal court clerks are like top-notch lawyers. You don't do foreknowledge and then add prepositions to participation in, cover up of. I mean, let's get some rhyme and meter in here, guys. Let me read that sentence again. Without even a modicum of. I'm going to correct it when I read it, just so you guys don't look stupid. Without even a modicum of substantiated evidence, she's publicly accused Harpole and Integrity Solutions of foreknowledge of, see how I did that? Participation in and cover up of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, as well as professional unfitness and criminal negligence. I'm not sure professional unfitness is a thing, by the way. I've never heard that before. Professional unfitness. I've only been a lawyer 20 years, but I've never heard anyone say, he's accusing me of professional unfitness. That's the first I've come across that phrase, if I'm being honest. Despite Owens admitting that she had viewed Harpole's flight records, she continued to accuse him of attending a meeting at Fort Huachuca, based solely on unsubstantiated testimony from Defendant Snow. Furthermore, without any evidence that Harpole acted negligently or intentionally with regard to the assassination of Kirk, Owens spread conspiracy theories that he somehow and for some reason intended Kirk to die. I think at this point, we have a right at this point to all of the security team. Because he says accused Harpole and Integrity Security Solutions. Now, I understand Integrity Security Solutions is not a party to this claim. And don't think I don't recognize for a second that that's weird. It is weird. He was acting as an agent of Integrity Security Solutions on that day. I understand she's just being alleged to defame, even though she gave him like 3 chances to correct the record that he didn't take. But that's neither here nor there. We've already dismissed the case. But I think at this point, when we do Integrity Security Solutions, now we have a right to not only get the names and identities and backgrounds of every single person that was there that day working on the Charlie Kirk team, and that has been difficult to track down. I think we've only tracked down 9 of the 13 people by name. I think there are 4 more that were there that we can't find a name to. Muppet Master's done a great job. If you follow him on X, he's done a really good job of identifying people who were there. He's identified, I think, hundreds of people who were there by name, by picture. But I think there are 3 or 4 people on Integrity Security Solutions team, or at least working with the security team, that even Muppet Master, as great a job as he's done, has not been able to track down those people. But this right here, now we can. Now Candace's legal team can send out a request, and we can get the names of all these people, and that way they can be deposed. Because I think each one of them needs a thorough. I think the federal rules limit it to 7 hours. I think each one of these needs a nice 7-hour deposition. Each one of these people. And finally, probably the most tone-deaf paragraph in legal history. Since defendants began their campaign to impugn and defame Harpole, he, on a daily basis, has been accused by thousands of people across social media platforms of murdering Charlie Kirk, a beloved and well-regarded podcaster and major influential voice amongst conservative Americans. This sentence is so tone-deaf. Since Owens began targeting Harpole, he has lost major clients and reputation And his reputation in the security industry has plummeted. Brian, the guy you were protecting died. It's not Candace that's caused your reputation to plummet. You're in the security industry, meaning maybe I've never been in the security industry. I'm not a licensed security professional. I'm not trying to accuse you here of professional unfitness, whatever the hell that means. But he died. He died. He was alive. He paid you money. He trusted you to keep him alive, and he did not, in fact, stay alive. He did not live. He was alive, and now he's dead. You brought a team of like 12 or 13 people there with one goal. One. Make sure the guy who's breathing is still breathing the next day. Like, that's the goal. That's what happened. If I hire a security team and I'm breathing the day I hire them, then the next day I would like to still be breathing. Like, that's sort of the goal. I don't want to take any rounds to the neck. I don't want to leave with broken vertebrae. I don't want unseen people on roofs. Sir, it's like me hiring you to be a caterer, and then there's no food. Like, I'm like, Mr. Harpole, could your company bring like 50 pounds of barbecue? I'm having a family party. I'd like some briskets, some pulled pork, maybe some ribs. Go heavy on the potato salad, and can we get a little mustard added in there? Because mustard really makes the potato salad, and make sure it's not French's. We're talking good mustard. I want Coleman's mustard. I want some kind of German mustard. Get that potato salad really working in there. Could you do that for me? Yeah. Got you covered, sir. Great. Family shows up. We got balloons by the driveway to let people know which house we're in. We got music going. Jazz. We're playing jazz because we're a classy bunch. Classic jazz. None of this new weird stuff. The party's going on. People are wandering around, watching my watch. It's like noon. I'm like, where's my food? Maybe they think we eat late. Fine. 1 o'clock comes around, still no food. Maybe we turn on a little faster music to get people, the jazz ain't cutting it. We got to crank it up a notch. We're going to top 40 hits from the 80s. People are dancing, having a good time. 2 o'clock, I caught. You answer the phone. Hello? I'm like, hey, bud, barbecue. Stat, where is it? Yeah, not going to be there. Huh? Yeah. But I paid you good money to bring barbecue. Remember the potato salad, mustard, all that? Remember that? Coleman's mustard? We're good potato salad, not the garbage. Yeah, I'm not going to make it. Sorry. Bye. Okay. If people find out about that and they say, well, when you hire Brian to cater, sometimes there's no food. Well, then why did you hire him? I don't know. If you hire Brian to keep you alive, sometimes you don't stay alive. Doo-doo happens, Sorry, guys. Serious business. Hey, you think maybe that has something to do with your reputation in the industry? You think potentially the fact that your protectee got a large gash in his neck and bled out, had broken vertebrae, and pronounced dead? You think that had something to do with it, sir? Think that could have had any of the problem there? No? I do. I think that was, in fact, the major problem. I think that was the biggest issue of the night, sir. You quite literally had one job. One job. Make sure Charlie Kirk leaves Provo alive. Did he leave Provo alive? Be honest. No? Okay. Was somebody on the roof for 8 minutes before your guy died? Yeah, they were. Okay. Did everyone in the team have a bad feeling about it before he went out there? Mikey McCoy, Frank Turek, you, sir? Did it? I don't think Candace is your biggest problem, bud. You forgot the barbecue. There's no potato salad. It's not like you used the wrong mustard. It's not like, well, all we had was French's. Nope, that's not the problem, sir. There's no meat. No meat. That's the problem. And if Candace goes on a podcast the next day and says, well, they hired Brian at the Coleman family reunion and we showed up as a guest and doggone it, no meat. That's not your problem. Your problem is there's no meat, not Candace pointing out there's no meat. Brian, I have no idea why you filed this lawsuit. No idea what you were trying to accomplish. I would be hard-pressed to believe you guys intend to win this lawsuit. You wouldn't have included the text from Candace pointing out she was trying to get your side of the story. I mean, just for starters. I cannot, there's no part of me that's going to walk away from this and go, oh, this is a serious lawsuit. Very serious lawyers, very serious law firm. Doing very serious legal work here. Yeah, this is great stuff. This is top-notch legal work here. We're gonna actually admit that our guy was given 3 different opportunities to correct the record and did not take any of them. And then complains about everything she said after given those opportunities. All right. Obviously don't have time to get into the Bayall room. I didn't think I would. That's why I skipped the opening. Depending on what happens between now and Sunday, we'll do that. I will not be back tomorrow. I did the member show Tuesday. So we'll not be back tomorrow for that. But I've got a family obligation I just can't miss. So that's why I did the member show on Tuesday instead of Friday this week. Candace having a book club, so no conflict this week. I know some of you guys complain when my member show goes head to head and you have to catch a replay. I get it. She's the principal. I get it. Here's my advice. Let me close this way. I always tell clients, and I got to be honest here. I always tell clients, if you've been sued, you've already lost. Even if you win, you've already lost. You have to pay legal fees. There's stress involved in it. It's a pain in the butt. You got to hire lawyers. So really, it's not a win-win situation. Even a situation like this, if you get it dismissed, you get your legal fees back because this is Tennessee and we're a great state. But you still don't want to get sued. The general rule of thumb is if you get sued, you try to get rid of it as quick as possible. It's like a not a hot potato. It's like a time bomb, and you don't know what the clock says. You don't know if it's going to blow up in your hands. You never know what a judge or jury is going to do. Some judges are fair, some are not. Some juries are great, some are not. You have no idea what's going to happen. And so my ordinary advice to somebody who receives a lawsuit like this is immediately get rid of it. They've given you a wide open door. There's like 4,000 reasons why a judge would dismiss this. Walk through one of those doors, get it off of your plate, put it behind you, move on with life. And I think if Candace did that, I would have no complaints. Because that would be my normal advice to somebody. This case is a little different because this is so poorly pled. They took 8A's requirement of a plain statement of facts and just butchered their entire case, in my opinion. Less is more when you're filing a complaint for defamation. Believe me, less is more. The more you say, the worse it gets for you. Say as little as possible. Just make the tightest claim you can make and send it out. Do it in 2 pages if you can. 69 pages is wholly unnecessary. But there are so many open doors here for discovery. I mean, I think Erica Kirk could be deposed with this lawsuit. Andrew Colvett, surely. Mikey McCoy, yes. Blake Neff, yes. Every one of the security professionals, yes. All the text messages, all the videos, all the Meta glasses information, all the watch information. To me, it all is discoverable. And you have to ask, is a gift like this ever going to come along again? Like, my goal in this investigation is who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. You would have never convinced me 3 days ago that there would be an opportunity to answer those questions or at least rule out TPUSA's involvement, rule out Brian Harpole's involvement, rule out Integrity Security Solutions involvement. You would have never been able to convince me that 2 days ago. I mean, this would be a huge opportunity to get rid of all these people. We finally get to find out what flight Erica was on. Where was she? Was she at Hopkinson? Was she with her mom? I mean, I honestly believe, yes, we would be able to find that out through this. Not we. I mean, I'm not on the team, but you know what I mean? We as the world. We as interested people who want to know the answers to these questions. We would all be able to find this out, I believe. I think a judge would allow you to depose all these people. They would fight it. Andrew's not going to, especially after today, Andrew is not willingly going to go under oath. Boy, would I love to get, you guys remember a week or two ago, someone asked me who would I want to talk to if I could interview one person. And I said, well, if it was public, I would want to do Erica Kirk. I did not mean to word that way. If it was public, I would want to interview Erica Kirk. I would want, because I think her face gives so much away. 90% of our communication is nonverbal. So if this was a public discussion, I would want to talk to Erica Kirk. Ask her the question, see how she responds. I wouldn't even care what her words were. I wouldn't even care what came out of her mouth. I might even not wear hearing aids, wear muffles over my ears, be like, please, ma'am, just face the camera. I don't even want to see your mouth move. If it was public, I would want to interview Erica Kirk because I think her face would give the whole game away. I said, but if it was private and under oath, I would want to talk to Mikey McCoy. I just had this gut feeling deep in my soul, watching Mikey, observing Mikey, looking at his face while his dad and Frank are talking. The fact that he's basically gone silent after the first few weeks after this was over, he's done talking. You see him in the background at events. You see him, but he's just got a different disposition. He looks different. He doesn't look like the rest of them. If it was private, I'd want to talk to Mikey McCoy. I think that opportunity has arisen, not for me, but for a highly skilled lawyer to sit down with him for a maximum of 7 hours under Rule 26 and ask him everything. Everything. I think there's a whole lot of people. I think every TPUSA employee who was there that day could be deposed as a result of this lawsuit. Every single member of Integrity Security Solutions could be deposed as a result of this lawsuit. Now, that's not even talking about the interrogatories, the request for production. All of that would be valuable information to try to figure out who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why, because it might eliminate a lot of people. It might really narrow down some stuff. What the hell's going on with Rick Cutler? Well, we might be able to find out. Might be able to show him some slow motion footage and say, what's in your hand, bro? What are you doing? Why are you pulling your sleeve? Might get to finally ask the old third base coach himself, what was the steal signal? What was going on there? Why did you look left, look down, look right, step forward, hit your arm, bang? Like we might get to ask, not we, I say we very broadly, but these questions might get asked as a result of this lawsuit. And so selfishly, as your humble host, I'd like to see all those answers. But I would never advise a friend to take some sort of reckless action just to satisfy my morbid curiosity. I think she ultimately will make a decision that's best for her. Whether, I mean, it's a risk-reward analysis. Can you tolerate the risk of holding this time bomb in your hand, not knowing if you're going to get a fair judge, not knowing if you're going to get a fair jury? Or do you say, you know what? A chance like this doesn't come along very often. It's hard to give it up. Hard to give it up. I don't think for a second, if she filed a motion to dismiss, this would survive. I don't think for a second. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think this would survive for 5 seconds. But I guess we'll find out. I would pray for Candace, pray for George, pray for Brian Harpole, and I'm going to renew my request that we pray for Mikey McCoy after what we learned today. I think Mikey is Mikey's going through something, or he wouldn't have reached out to Candace. And I do believe he did. I do believe he did. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends and family. If you like what you saw, let them know that this is where they can find it here on this channel. And I want to give a special thanks to Candace because she has taken a lot of slings and arrows for this investigation. I mean, a lot. And most people aren't strong enough to survive what she's taken. Most people are not strong enough to survive what she's taken. Most people are not strong enough to withstand the total onslaught of negativity. Multiple tweets from the leader of the free world, probably the most famous person on earth. I mean, typically the most famous person on earth is the President of the United States and the Pope. Those are the two. In either order. And Donald Trump having a 40 or 50 year public life before he became president may actually be more famous than the Pope. And to have someone like that personally assaulting you is a lot of pressure. That's not even to mention the goons on Twitter out there calling her evil and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I know what I get, and I'm nobody, right? I mean, I'm small potatoes compared to the audience and profile she has and the types of people attacking her. So, I'm thankful that she's doing this because without her, there is no Charlie Kirk investigation. The amount of information she uncovers on a daily basis, Mikey didn't reach out to me. Your humble host was not on his radar, but allegedly did reach out to her, right? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind that a lawsuit we're looking at right now, we've had a little fun with it tonight, but this is serious business. This is very serious business. Lawyers are not cheap. Lawsuits are not without stress. And these are real lives. These are real people. The real consequences. So that's all I'm going to say about it. So let me run through some of your comments. Ooh, we got a lot of them. I will do my best to get to as many as possible. I cannot promise I'll get to all of them. I can promise I will read all of them. I do make you guys that promise every night. I will sit here as long as it takes tonight to read these, even though I have to wake up at 4 a.m. I will still read every one because I make you that promise and I'm not going to break it. Baron, will Turning Point devices be like those of Lovebirds, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page? Their Mueller-issued phones were factory reset, so no recoverable data. Remember, AK already got a new phone after his crashed. Yeah, I remember that. That was weird, right? Maybe he'll get deposed and asked about it. But Baron, thank you for all you do. And Daisy, you're the best. Christ is king indeed. When Candace mentioned Mikey, all I could think about was you looking into the camera last night and advising him to get a lawyer and come forward. Maybe you were prompted to say that for a reason. Yeah, maybe. I believe he needs to do that. I genuinely believe he needs to do that. So thank you. Not going to call him Mikey anymore. Tonight he became a man. Mike McCoy. Thank you. We will pray for you, your family, and TPUSA to tell the truth. Yeah, I wonder what work's going to be like tomorrow. It's going to be wild in Phoenix. I'll tell you that. Baron, this one is for 30 seconds of EK up-talking impression. Always makes my day. I don't know if I can give you 30 seconds, but I can give you a few. Didn't Bongina's wife work for Andrew Colvin? I think so. That's what he said. That's what he said. EK says TA instead of TO after fair 4-4. I don't know what that means. Baron, love the show. All you do. I would love to make you a handmade sign with your family name. What is Mrs. Coleman's favorite color? Thanks. Christ is king indeed. Oh, a real husband would know that, wouldn't he? Purple. I think it's purple. Like she buys a lot of purple stuff. She buys a lot of purple stuff. Wears purple shoes to the gym. What if Harpole changed his mind after seeing the talk about subpoenas and Mikey might have just been trying to distract her? Yeah, I mean, you could always take the position that Mikey might have been a disinformation agent. Sure. I mean, that's not unusual to think that. Harpole can change his mind, but if he voluntarily dismisses this without, and Candace is like, no, please don't dismiss it, they're all going to look really guilty. So I don't think he has that option. To the majestic High King Baron. Did you know about Mikey McCoy info, or did your jaw drop like mine? Christ is king. Love you. I'm going to tell you what I know and don't know. This intro is too dope. Not going to lie. Shout out to Fleet. Yeah, Fleet did a great job on that. No doubt about it, Truth. Thank you. Hey, Baron, I'm about to graduate with summa cum laude in a few days. Something Erica couldn't do. Yeah, but you could just tell everybody. I mean, that's what she did. Do you think CO's newest lawsuit is bait to keep you and her from discussing the CK incident? Oh, I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. First Amendment, Erica's bad mouths Daily Mail. Clinton initiative involved with Wiki, who rate Daily Mail below CCP. Wiki informs Google and AI becomes fact. I think I know what you're saying. Oh, there's look, that's why I started with this book. There's definitely assault on the First Amendment. This was my law school textbook for the First Amendment. Still has my notes in here. You can see some of the cases where I wrote in the margins and whatnot. This was a good case book. My First Amendment professor was amazing. She was a dyed-in-the-wool leftist. Like, what was her name? Susan. Oh, gosh. What was her name? She's brilliant. What was her name? Professor Susan, Indiana Law School. What is her name? Susan Williams. Brilliant. Brilliant woman. I didn't agree with the word she said. But very smart. Very smart. All right, let me roll through some of these here. Terrell Farnsworth goes live saying they shot Charlie and films his body being shoved into an SUV moments after Charlie Kirk was killed. And Erica Kirk thinks she has the right to chastise reporters. That's correct. That's precisely what happened. Watching you and Candace's friendship develop has been amazing. She gives you your flowers and you deserve them. Thank you. Christ is king. Flowers. I've gotten no flowers. I've gotten no flowers, but thank you. Boy, oh boy, I couldn't have picked a better day to wear my high IQ tee and CO crew neck. Go all the way, Max Barron, praying for you and your beautiful family. Always, Christ is king indeed. Christ is king indeed. Please talk to Mikey. Hope he's in a safe place. Agreed. I think tomorrow's going to be weird at work. I know IU is your team. Curious if you had an NFL or NBA team you cheer for. More partial and full crash outs. My favorite. I'll hang up and listen to your answer. NBA team Pacers, without a doubt. Lifelong Pacers fan. NFL team Colts, without a doubt. But I do have a soft spot for the Titans. Just because living here. But the Titans were not here when I was growing up. So I was a Colts fan from the time I was little. And the Titans came after, like when I was a second year in college. But I've got a soft spot for them. They're not very good, but yeah, they used to be. Good evening, Bubba Baron. Huge fan of the show and of Candace. Oh, thank you for all the knowledge you share. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. How bad is Andrew K. Squirmy? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Baron, glad I'm addicted to your show. I would have never known how venerable I was when I poop or pee. Okay. Did I say something? I don't know what I said. I have no idea what I said. Baron, I can only imagine the information Candace must be sitting on after dropping the bombshell about Mikey wanting to look into Andrew. Wowzers. There's more where that came from, guys. Mikey, lawsuits. Today was a lot to unpack, but I'm glad to see Erica made your wall of fame. Top middle. Yeah, that's her suit she wore last night on her. That's great. You guys crack me up. More questions for Erica Kirk. Fort H. Alibi pick metadata. Show CK text to DF and AK that said they were going to kill him. Plane tickets 910. Unedited TP Cam vids 910. More for or Farfar. Doge audit. Donor Pierre. Okay. Roger. What if the lawsuit is his way of getting out of his NDA or due to subpoena powers and he wants to talk? Nope. Not buying that. Not buying that at all. Hey, Ben, what can we do about our First Amendment being threatened? If people in government want to get rid of it, they will. What can we do as people to protect this? Well, they kind of already have, haven't they? I mean, they kind of already have. Keep in mind, the First Amendment's a lot more than speech. And keep in mind, the First Amendment says Congress shall make no law. Congress shall make no law regarding the abridgment. Which means basically no federal limitation is the way I look at it. Now through the due process clause, they've attached that to state and local government. It's gotten out of control. And there's, all these different tests, the lemon test and this test and that test. And we have free speech zones. You can protest here, but not over here. So there are a lot of limitations. They kind of already have gotten. But I agree, it's under assault. Sarah McCann requesting prayers for seasonal anxiety. Most people love summer, but I get stressed out about being out of my routine. I'm a teacher. On top, an almost identical situation that caused lots of stress happened again this week. Hard not to fixate. Thanks. Christ is king. Christ is king indeed. Focus on that last part. Christ is king indeed. If you live in a van down by the river, you lose your home, everything around you collapses, you're still going to heaven. Like, focus on that part. It may not work for everyone, but that's what gets me. Oh, and get a bird box. This thing, having it whistle birds to me all day. Someone sent this in the P.O. box. This thing just whistles birds all day. And it's amazing. Like all day. You don't think that matters. It does. Get you one of these. It's great. Whoever sent that, thank you. I've been using it all day. My wife this morning was like, do we have to listen to birds again tonight while we sleep? I listened to birds all night. Like 3 a.m, I woke up. I was like, what the hell's going on? I turned it off. I was like, stop. Yeah, while we fell asleep, I had birds going. It's great. I'm trying hard not to say you were not listening to yourself. I never listen to myself. It happened. Been a subscriber since September with notifications on, and this is the first time I didn't get a YouTube notification. Rumble notified me. I've only ever watched via the tube. Oh. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. If Harpole Security Agency paid out a wrongful death claim to Erica, wouldn't that undermine or invalidate his lawsuit against Candace Owens? Do we know if they did? I don't know. I mean, I think it would. Love this intro. Feel like Mikey is doing this because his way of revealing things legally. MDA, what do you think? Feel like Mikey is on our side? I think Mikey's a very conflicted young man. Probably a lot of fear in his heart, if I had to guess. Probably, if I had to guess, man, I bet he's terrified, particularly tonight. But I bet he was terrified this morning. And last week, and the week before that, and a month before that. And probably the year before that, and the year before that, even while Charlie was alive. I think Mikey's lived a tough life, tougher than we think. I got paid today, so Baron's getting paid today. Love this high IQ outfit. Our humble host, our amazing principal. Christ is king, indeed. P.S. We need regular tank tops in the merch store, Nurse Casey. Please. Oh, I almost forgot. Someone asked, this is off cycle. We only added one item to the merch store, but somebody asked for a holy mackerel shirt in the merch store, and we added it today. See if I can find it. Someone asked for a holy mackerel. It's cute too. Check this out. It's got a fish with a halo on it. It's available for Mother's Day. Look at that. You can get it in light blue, light pink, holy mackerel. You can get it in white, holy mackerel. So lots of good colors there. Ash. Yeah. So if you want a holy mackerel shirt, now's your chance. You're never going to have another opportunity. That's the one I want. I'm buying that one. And someone asked specifically, and they were kind, but they wanted a holy mackerel sweatshirt for Mother's Day. We're like, fine. But we don't take requests. Not on time. But with that one, I mean, we did. Yeah. My daughter hijacked my YouTube profile for her channel. So, short story long, Rodney from Iowa here, not Valter. Keep going, Max. Also, I graduate nursing program on the 13th. Pray for me. Yeah, pray for you. We need more nurses. There's a nursing shortage worldwide, really, but it's particularly here in the United States. Baron, tell him Andrew and Erica are going to cut a deal. So, Mikey, run. Don't walk. Yeah, Mikey, first one of the courthouse wins. I said that yesterday. First one I got to read this comment. I saw it. Mikey, do you think Mikey Walker's even shocked that actually happened? I think so. Yeah, I think that's exactly the right answer. What do I think Mikey's words were the first words out of his mouth while he was watching Candace? You know, sometimes there's a sense of relief that washes over you when everybody else thinks you should be terrified. You know, you've got something and it's been hidden away back there, and you just. My guess is he was relieved. I bet he had a sense of relief, assuming it's true, and I think it is. I think he had just a sense of relief wash over him. That's what I think. I wasn't a big CK fan, but everything that happened felt like a spiritual wake-up call. Time to stop dividing and hold those in power accountable. Loved your intro yesterday. Took me out. Go Max. Want to point out, you're yelling at me, sir. Ma'am, but I'll allow it. You just had surgery. You're probably on painkillers. I want to point out, I'm kidding about that. You point out that you, Baron, held out hope for salvation for Andrew's soul. You didn't give up on him for a very long time. Just clarifying. I didn't give up on him for a very long time. Thank you for all the work you do. Your integrity and commitment to the truth is inspiring. You and Candace are so loved and appreciated. P.S. I'm begging. Can we get an RBP decal? Nurse Casey, she's begging. We probably can do that. We probably can. You mean a sticker or a patch or something? We probably can do something like that. We probably can do that. Listen to another podcast featuring a congresswoman, and every time she finished a sentence in uptalk, I heard it in your EK voice. You keep up the high IQ work. Christ is king. I'm not going to uptalk that. Nope, not going to do it. You look amazing in lavender. Marvelous. Thank you. I just ordered a purple hoodie. Maybe that'll help. I just want to say I'm thankful for your integrity and delivery on all issues. I've learned so much from you. Love your show. And just got my Hope Please mug. Keep going, Max. I was drinking out of mine this morning. It's got coffee rings in the bottom of it. Baron, as a boomer, every time I watch you, I can actually feel myself becoming more intelligent. Well, that's until I pick up the glasses and do my country lawyer. Then you're like, oh, there goes that comment. I paid too early. You've become a bright spot of my day. Thank you. Yes, you did say it was through a third party. Good catch. Do you think that this could be a way to get answers to CO through discovery? Maybe his conscience getting to him? No. I don't think. Maybe. But that's not my thought. Hi, Baron. You are truly hilarious. Yet you educate us every day. Thank you so much for your show. Love the color choice for the hoodie tonight. Also love the lawyer look at the beginning tonight. Christ is king. Yeah, I had to. You don't get more lawyerly than a tweed jacket. That's as lawyer as it comes. Every lawyer has one in the closet somewhere. Thank you, Baron, for your background in law. Needed. Can you represent Candace? No. Well, I mean, I could. I'm not going to. Nobody better. IMO. You just said in your chat, your intuition is insane. Christ is king. Indeed. Thank you. No, she has a good team of lawyers. She didn't need your humble host. Happy birthday to me on Crash Out Day 2026. Mikey, run. First one rules. First one to the courthouse wins, Mikey. Everyone else does life without. Got to ask, this suit cancels out its own claims. Is this a backhanded gift to give her access? Guilty conscience? No, I thought I explained my thought on that, and I know your question was from very early. My thought on that is it almost reads as if it was designed to be dismissed. And that he's just wanting to get the information out there and look like he tried. But I hope I hope we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Baron, my sister and I love your show so much. Can you give her a shout out? Hannah Banana. She keeps tinfoil hat on. Hannah Banana's a loyal commenter here. I know Hannah Banana. Brian Harpole isn't team TPUSA anymore. What if it is a publicity stunt? He's secretly trying to get Discovery out. He knows the suit will flop. He has no safe way to get Candace the info. Anything is possible. No, he could have easily just backdoored her everything. Lost my husband in 2021 to COVID. Our daughter was 9. First year, I created a website dedicated to helping widows. I saved the glitter pantsuits and fireworks for year 2. Go Max Serbaron, Christ is King. Christ is King indeed. Fizzly DT, thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry for your loss. That was a tough time for everybody, particularly those who lost people. Or I'm hospital rep here. I drove UVU to Timpanogos in 7 minutes at 33 miles an hour using Wolverine Highway and 1200 West. Same route per police calls. Why 14 minutes for Charlie Kirk, 60, 80, 100 miles per hour? Don't think so. It's 2.5 miles. Well, that's one of the things I was going to do when I fly out there. Drive that. See what could have possibly taken that. That's a good question. Love the lawyer coming out tonight. I know Candace has lawyers, but I'm sure she's glad to have a brother and friend lawyer too. Amazing shows by both today. We'll miss you both, but have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. Yeah, I've got good plans this weekend. I'll spend a lot of time with family this weekend. Hi, Baron. Been a fan since your first show. Love it. Have you heard from Ian Carroll? Been very worried. I have several times. He's fine. Haven't seen him on X or his podcast. Thank you for the show, and God bless you and yours. He's been on X here and there. Thank you for the question. He's been on X a few times. I did finally just call him and say, what's up? And he said, dude, I'm busy. He said, we're getting a whole, he's got the web app going and all, and just working on a bunch of stuff. And he's like, I just don't, this is taking my time right now. He goes, I'll be back. I said, please come back. He's like, he'll come back. I said, if for no other reason, you're great at it and it's a much needed voice in the space. But your fans, man, you got great fans and they love you. And he gets it. It humbled him. I had such a great time with you last night. My IQ finally kicked into high gear. Subscribed, bought a mug, became a member, and donated all in one day. You had a really good day. Rat sauce, Mom? I'm going to allow it because of the kind comment. I'm going to allow it. Marin, I'd pay $2 to tell you if you had spinach in your teeth, and I'm so excited I finally ordered my Whole Please mug and my crew with all your Baronisms. I really like that shirt. My sister put that together, and I thought that was a cute shirt. Thank you. And please, if I ever have, I actually eat spinach, or I didn't eat spinach, but I ate some kind of leafy green tonight. If I ever have spinach in my teeth, please be the first to tell me. I actually went, flossed, and brushed my teeth before I came on air so that I would not have spinach in my teeth. I didn't know what the leafy green was. It was it was good, but it was a little bitter, but I like bitter food. Our humble host, 1979 here as well, and graduated from Puyallup High School. Hey, cool story about Puyallup. There's a guy named Baron Coleman in Puyallup. I get his email sometimes, and he gets mine. We send them to each other. He's a teacher. I don't know if he's at Puyallup High School, but I know he's in Puyallup, Washington. His name's Baron Coleman. I'm not doxing the guy. He's famous. I mean, he's online. And I'm not telling you his address or anything, but he's a cool guy. Check him out. Wondering what your ties are to Puyallup. Oh, I don't have any. Never been there. I've only ever heard of it because of him. Surprised to hear you mention it a couple episodes ago. Appreciate you and the team. Yeah, that's why. That's the only reason why. I know where all the Baron Colemans are in the country. I sent a wedding gift to one of the Baron Colemans whose daughter got married. One of them's a cop in Detroit, really cool guy. Does like youth basketball leagues. Like I keep up with the Baron Colemans. There's not many of us. I know them. I don't know that they claim me these days, but I know them. Let's see here. Timu lawyer team. That's pretty funny. All they're doing with this baseless case is more popular than she already. The case won't stand, in my opinion. They keep proving her point every time. You talk about Candace? Yeah. I think she comes out ahead. Several people have made this comment, so I'll pull one of them up and show you. Yeah, I saw that. They said September 11th, 2011. It's 2000. That's okay. Timu lawyer. They're using this to silence the masses. They're going to probably use EK to push it out, per her screed yesterday. They're setting up Congress to squash free speech as well as the Second Amendment. Hope not. There's a complete diversity of citizenship between the parties. False. I think there is. I mean, on each side of the V, Harpole's not from Tennessee. But wrong. First time chat. I've been loving your show. You do an amazing job. Please pray for my daughter It's the anniversary of her best friend forever, who passed away at 9. They were in 3rd grade. Wow. You don't hear too, I mean, obviously it happens. It happened here, but you don't hear too many people at 9 pass away. Trying to think back when I was in elementary school, I don't think we had anybody pass away, and I went to big schools. That's really sad to me. Sorry to hear that. I was drooling with anticipation of Barron going over this ludicrous lawsuit. Clearly, it is nothing but a publicity stunt and to hurt CO financially. Please do a pod with Lionel about it too. Yeah, I need to have Lionel on my show. I was on his show, and it was a lot of fun. He's a great guy. I like Lionel a lot. He's a fun listen. You can tell he's a very talented and experienced broadcaster. Lawsuit's a practice round for the next show trial. So sad and yet so obvious. Appreciate you so much for reviewing with this high IQ outfit. I'm doing my best up here. I'm doing my best up here. First chat. Daily Watcher. This lawsuit is so bad they don't even have 9/11. You're correct. They wrote 2011. Yes, they did indeed. Yes, they did. You seriously and genuinely make me laugh. Like spit across the table laugh. Thankful Kristen. Critter. Casey, Kristen. I apologize. Did I tell you my college roommate was actually my wife's brother. Now, she was my girlfriend before he was my roommate. He just needed a place to stay, and I had a spot. So he moved in with me. But we had a rule. He's very funny. And we had a great time living together. Lived in a little apartment in Auburn. But we had a rule. When we were eating, we were not allowed to talk because we had spit so much milk and macaroni and cheese and peas and pieces of chicken across the room. We just had you cannot talk while we're eating. We would make a meal. We would sit down next to each other, and it was dead silence. And we would just eat. And then when we were done, we'd get back to talking again. We had way too much fun living together. My grades showed it. Candace's Philadelphia slavery comment was shared straight from an encyclopedia. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say she's wrong. You know, you look at it and you're like, well, I mean, it's maybe unpopular, but is it wrong? Even if connect TR to gun, lots happened with inept trained staff between UVU and hospital and suburban. I think I know what you're saying. Admitted hands and neck, waved off medics who could have saved CK. Lots to investigate in that creating reasonable doubt. Yeah, I think I'd be interested in deposing the 2 medics who showed up or whoever those people were with medic bags. Erica may have been the one who introduced Mikey to Eliza. Up talk? I could be wrong. Eliza's family is close with Photog V. Monzuk. I don't even know who that is. Do we know the Photog guy who was supposed to walk with J. Falk? I don't know what you're talking about. A lot going on in that comment. I'm just unaware. This is good stuff, though. Pork chop over roasted cauliflower puree with green beans for dinner. It was great. That is all. I had tandoori chicken with lentils and some sort of green. I'm not sure what it was, but it was good. And then some rice. Just a little bit of rice, not too many carbs. Maybe he sued her so that she would go forward with it to be able to get answers through discovery. I don't know. King Baron, hear me out. As much as I think this may be a slam dunk for us to learn more in possible discovery, I feel like it may be a trap. It's a trap. Listening to you bring up valid points, I feel like they're being aloof as a strategy. Maybe. It's just a smear campaign to make themselves feel like they got to win. They took the most irrelevant of the bunch and probably asked him to file this lawsuit so that attention is diverted from Erica and the rest. I don't see how. I think that opens up a lot of discovery. I think it was a huge strategic error if that was the plan. Maybe Brian heard your plea last night and is opening it up for her to be able to get discovery, and that's why it's laid out this way to give her discovery but not get killed. I don't know. Last night was the hardest I've laughed in a while. I think I speak for everyone when I say we need a don't tell me how to live my life, fat boy. Did I say that? Oh my gosh. Did I say that? Why do you guys let me say stuff like that? Somebody will send me a clip of the show and I'll say, oh my gosh, they just listen to me say that stuff. It happens, guys. It happens. Don't tell me how to live my life, fat boy. I'm not around live, so I can almost never super. Wish there was a way to non-live super and have them discussed at another time, like a dedicated offline super session. Fellow attorney here. Yeah, that gets hairy. I'm not sure how we would even pull that off. I don't even know. Thank you though. Thank you for the chat. Can we determine if the lawyer suing her at this time is tied to that group you covered recently, the pro-Israel group you were concerned would be helping fund lawsuits against Candace? Well, that's a good question. I need to check into that. I don't think so, but I don't know. But that's a good callback. Good callback. Maybe the narrative of the data center under the ballroom is a red herring. Maybe it's something more secret or harder to get vote approval. Yes, Prez early on told press ballroom was a shed or underneath for military. Yeah, there's something going on under it. That's the key. That's the whole scary part. Having a place for rich people to clink glasses is not very concerning to me. Whatever. Building a 9-story military complex under it, it's a little weird. A little weird. I want to know what it is. Is BH scared? Is BH claiming he's going after CO? People will see TPUSA is guilty without coming out and saying it. Would he know this is what we've been waiting for? That's interesting. I don't know. Why weren't there security measures in place for CK's next day event? Well, all Brian said in the lawsuit is he wasn't aware of any because he was not going. I raised my question back to you, sir. I call your, and I raised, that's illegal actually, it's called string bet, but I see it in movies all the time. People are like, I call your $100 and I raised. No, your bet's over. Sorry, you just called. Next card, please. But string bets aside, he said he wasn't going. So I raised you, Mr. Harpole. How are you getting home? What flight were you taking home? B, what if BH tries to withdraw the suit? Could Candace stop this if she wanted? If not, could she countersue him? Putting that out there was defamatory to her. I don't think she could get defamation on that. I don't think. Maybe. If he tries to withdraw the suit, they're all going to look so guilty that would be one of the biggest backfires in history. Like that. I mean, you might as well just haul them all off to prison and let God figure it out at that point. Like that would look so bad. Just handcuff them all, put them in prison for life, and say, if we're wrong, God will take care of them in the afterlife. Go very Spanish Inquisition on them at that point. So I don't know. I don't know about that. This is a good one. Is this why Mikey went silent? Does he possibly believe TPUSA were involved? Has Brian purposely opened up discovery for this, or you just don't? I think I've addressed the last part of that, but the second is a very interesting sentence to me. Does he believe TPUSA were involved? Well, if the story is to be believed, and I do believe it, I believe it's true. I think he at least has concerns with Andrew Colvett at TPUSA. And I don't know why those concerns would exist, but for potential involvement. So thank you, Baron. These are challenging times. We all need to keep going, Max, and pray this community sticks together. TJ, thank you. That's a very generous contribution. And thank you for saying that. These are challenging. This community is very good. Our community, but not just the community that watches this program and interacts in the live chat and all that. I'm talking to this community of people who want the world to be what we were promised 4, 6, 8, 10 years ago. And we were sold a bill of goods, and we're all standing around going, where's the president we voted for 6 times? I keep hearing these people, I'm a 3-time Trump voter. I'm a 6-time Trump voter. Primary and general, every single time. This is not what I voted for. I didn't vote for secret military installations under the White House, secretly funded by multi-trillion-dollar companies. I didn't vote for that. I didn't vote for war in Iran. I didn't vote for $5 gas. I didn't vote for food shortages that are coming, and they are. I didn't vote for any of this. I voted for the opposite of all that. I voted for somebody who's going to open up energy and make it cheap, increase refinement, make it cheap. I voted for somebody who wasn't going to start foreign wars. We've had enough of that for the last 40 years, 100 years. So these are challenging times, and there's a small community. The community seems like it's getting smaller of podcasters and viewers and participants and people on X that are just continuing to point out, say, hey, you guys can say anything you want about me. I don't care. But this is not right. This is not what we wanted. This is not what we voted for. So thank you, TJ. Very good comment. Always enjoy your discussions about things legal. I was the plaintiff in a case that established 4 precedent rulings in electronic discovery, e-discovery. Southern District of New York, discovery is a gold mine. It is indeed. Huge shout out to Gary and Harpole for their massive contributions to the decentralized CK investigation. They helped more than half the internet's research department. We would not be where we are without Gary Milton. So shout out to Gary Milton. I mean, just an unbelievable job pointing out that Andrew and Erica were conspiring to put out some phony story. Great work on that. Great work nailing down that Mitch Snow actually was at Fort Huachuca where he said he was. I mean, we couldn't have done this without him. So thank you. Thank you. When it comes to American history, what books do you recommend? Just starting to learn about the real history of the U.S. Love the show. I have to get back to you. I'll have to get back to you on that. Thank you. I'm sorry I don't have a ready answer here. My internal dialogue immediately read the entire lawsuit in Ben Shapiro's voice. Ha! I am convinced he was sitting on a mini stool beside the attorney drafting the suit. Can I defend Ben for a second? I don't think he would have drafted. No doubt, I think he would have been in favor of it, but I doubt he reviewed it, and I doubt he had any role in drafting it. That looked like it was drafted by like armchair lawyers on X. Not on X, meaning on ecstasy, but like on the X, the Twitter. Maybe they're on ecstasy too. I don't know. Being that AK and CK were the only 2 in the room when DJT said he would take Miriam's money and then F her over, and she found out. And DJT was shot at 2 weeks later. AK seems to be her intel. Whose intel? Candace's? Or Miriam. Interesting. Yeah. Good thought. But Baron, what if Harpole filed this ridiculous lawsuit against Candace to give her the ability to do discovery and get the video footage, amongst other things? I see you guys saying that, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. Wave Tranquility, 4243. I finally caught a live stream during the live stream after several crazy busy weeks, and it is a banger. I'm living for this commentary by King Baron right now. Christ is king, and God bless you and your family, Baron. Thank you. God bless you. And thank you for those very, very kind words. I'm glad things are calming down for you a little bit. I hope you have a good weekend. Hope you can get away. I mean, you don't work too much. Wonder if Brian and Gary are related. Send them the logic book. Oh, yeah. They can come and get it. No, don't come and get it. I'll mail it to you. I don't want you at my house. Wow, it just clicked to me. What is happening? Guys, it's here. This feels increasingly biblical every day. I feel the same jitters as I did before a tennis meet. Baron, you will be in the history books one day. I don't think I'll be in the history books, but thank you for your vote of confidence. Christ is king indeed. He'll be in the history books one day. No doubt about it. Pre-tennis jitters, you say? Natty Nicole. I guess you answered the natty or not question. This is your calling, my B. You're exactly where you're needed most. I admire you in this entire high IQ outfit. Time to go, Max. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. It's very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Changed profile pic to show screenshot of FBI pic released 9/10 by the FBI and pic of trans saying CK was coming to my college tomorrow. Look at the chin. Looks different than current pic via TikTok, but YouTube won't let me share the name. Yeah, that's because that pic you have, I just made it big. The pic you have on the left is an artificial picture. That's AI enhanced by somebody on X, and it's not a real picture. That's why. That's why. If this isn't a trap, then whatever happens in Discovery, I hope it will exonerate, dismiss TR Is that possible? Evidence in this case will help TR? Well, I mean, a couple things. One is my goal is to find the truth. I'm not looking to exonerate anybody. I'm not looking to condemn anybody. I'm looking to figure out who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. And to the extent Tyler Robinson may or may not be involved, then he may or may not get exonerated. I don't intend to do one way or the other with respect to that, nor do I intend to get Eric or intend to get Andrew or intend to get Brian Harpole. My goal is just to try to figure out who did it, how, and why. That said, yes, anything that becomes public through this lawsuit certainly would be, to the extent they find out about it, available to the prosecution or the defense. There's no requirement that they go get evidence a certain way. If they see evidence if they see a deposition somewhere, they can go grab it. Now, they may or may not be able to introduce that deposition because it would have to follow the rules of evidence, and there might be hearsay exceptions or hearsay, exclusions. But if they have the information in front of them, they could just haul the person into trial, and they could then use the previous out-of-court statement as impeachment if they go back on it. I've done that before. Get a hold of a deposition from somebody, and then they say something different on stand. I say, Your Honor, may I approach? So you might not be able to introduce it as evidence, but you might be able to use it as impeachment testimony. That's two different standards. Devil's advocate here. What if this is Brian trying to find a way for Candace to get access to discovery? Yeah. Again, a lot of you have thought that, so maybe, but I'm not there. I don't think that. I do. If CO and George decide to go fight, what if BH decides, oops, never mind, because they realize discovery would sink them? Can CO say, no, the lawsuit must stand? No, you can't force a plaintiff to maintain a lawsuit. Now, if she counterclaimed him, he wouldn't be able to dismiss the counterclaim. That's an idea if she feels like she needs to tie him in. But you'd have to have a cause of action and all that. There'd be some issues with that. But I mean, assuming that's true, or if I think that'd be about the only way she could try to tie the lawsuit up. But again, it would look so bad on TPUSA. At that point, everyone goes down. It just looks terrible. If Judge Chip Frensley is a possibility, Google him. I Googled some of them, and his results were small, but EK's Instagram post popped up in the bottom for me. Put money on him being appointed if so. Chip Frensley. He's a magistrate judge. He's not going to get the case. I mean, he might get some of the early stuff, but no, the district court judge will hear the case. His lawsuit, a mistake, sounds like our open to all that awesome discovery. Mwahaha. I told CO I'd fully donate to the attorney fund. Could it be you? No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'd be available to consult, but I'm not going to. I wouldn't enter an appearance if that's true. Nor do I think she'd ask me. Did I see what Wolves in Finance said in his last video about Erica being able to represent in court? I was highly suggesting she do that. What are your thoughts? I don't think that I disagree with his conclusion there. I've said that several times in the show to people who've asked me, and I just don't believe that's a possibility at all. Now, I hadn't considered this. This is good. This had to be the best birthday present she could have received. All our questions about them can finally be answered. Nobody wants to get sued. Nobody wants to get sued. But if you have to get sued, this is a good one to get sued in. It's a good way to get sued. You know, if you have to get sued, this is a good one. Cash Patel feels like the housekeeper. Don't talk about the country music sensation's boyfriend that way. Come on. But I did see him dance, and he kind of danced like it. I just cleaned this up. I turn around and see those yahoos made a mess. Yeah. Hope increased when I heard Mikey reached out. I pray he and others take your opening from yesterday and make it to the courthouse first, or release it all publicly if possible. No trust for Gov. Christ is king indeed. I hope so. I've been begging. Someone get down there. Baron, can they refuse to show discovery because the trial of Ty Robinson hadn't happened yet? No. I mean, unless they're saying they did it. I mean, their argument would have to be, Judge, this evidence could implicate me. I plead the fifth. Like, I have a Fifth Amendment right not to participate. And even then, you still have to produce stuff. No. That would be a disaster for them if they feel like their evidence would impact the trial. That would be a disaster. King B was at the dentist and had a new hygienist named Candace. She said, I need to do your buccal check. So hard to laugh while your mouth has fingers in it, of course. I had to tell her about our humble host and the high IQ outfit. I hope she pronounced it correctly. Because if she said she's going to do a buckle test or whatever you guys say, I feel bad for you. Hope Candace's legal team is watching. I'm sure they are. Sure they are. They're big podcast fans. You know them. They love watching podcasts. Every time you turn around, they're watching podcasts. They don't even do legal work. They just sit around and watch podcasts all day. Oh, let's not pressure George. George and his lawyers and Candace and her lawyers, they'll make a good decision. We're not going to do any undue influence. Your legal knowledge is TPUSA's worst nightmare. I'm convinced your knowledge, expertise, and platform to communicate this to inform so many is a gift to Charlie from God. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Thank you. That's a very, very kind thing to say. Very high praise. Yeah, this is a question. I have not. Have we looked into the SUV driver, Justin Davis? I have not. It's a great question. Baron, follow me here. Okay, I'm following. What if Harpole is under an NDA and wants the discovery and subpoena? Would a subpoena negate an NDA? Could. I'm sure he is. Sure he is. I saw this Jimmy Dore piece, and I saw where Project Constitution, I think, is the one that broke it. Jimmy Dore alleged that TR's rifle was unable to be fired. Don't know if you've commented on this. I have not, but I have researched it and had Daisy go get a 30-06 out of, because she has a model that's a little closer. Go get it out and look at the safety and all that. I think there's something to that, and it might potentially be why the gun is still in Quantico and not been released to the defense. Because the picture in the New York Post looks to me, again, this is my fuzzy eyes looking at a fuzzy picture of a fuzzy gun in a fuzzy newspaper setting, but it looks like the safety on that gun is on. And where the scope is, it doesn't look like you can turn the safety back over. And so, are we to believe they never have the safety on it? I don't know. It's an interesting question. I don't know that the pictures that I see are clear enough. What are the chances Brian's trying to do Candace a solid? Yeah, a lot of you are obviously thinking this, and that's evidence, if for nothing else, this should be evidence to Brian of how lousy the lawsuit appears to be drafted. Integrity Solutions and Harpole's Daddy Mints. South Park, please make a new episode ASAP. That clip of Charlie Kirk on South Park's been circulated. I'm not sure why, but it's hilarious. My brother in Christ, please touch on objection owned by Aaron Souza. I'm not okay. Theo Vaughn voice, gang, baby. But I'm seriously interested in your opinion on that. AI tribunals, like, actually. Is this where I admit I have no idea what you're talking about? Who's Aaron Souza? Aaron D'Souza. There we go. What's the objection? Oh, objection is his company. AI Tribunal for testing claims made in the media. I don't know anything about it. I wish I could help you out, good sir or ma'am. I would love to. If it is of my opinion that Erica is cultivated asset, not raised in a sense any average human can relate to, but bred for a purpose with intent and design that played into her before she could even form the words. Yeah, but then she did a terrible. Whoever trained her needs to lose their job. They did a terrible job. If that's true, they did a terrible job. She's a disaster. Did you see what I saw yesterday? Do I need to get the hat back out? Baron, I love the gavel. I do too. A listener made that and sent it in. I've never had to use it. Baron, in Discovery, I'd love to see Brian's security plan for the next planned event. Love you and Queen Candace. I'm told it doesn't exist. I firmly believe it is Providence that put you into Candace's life at this moment in time. I've thought of that, honestly. I've thought of that. I don't know that I want to get all personal right now. I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to do this show. Thankful you guys show up. Thankful. I loved broadcasting when I did it full time, and I love the prep. I love the people I've met. I love the community we formed. I love the community of other podcasters and social media people I've been able to meet. It's been a remarkable time. So thank you. And I've thought of that exact same thing. 69 pages. Did you play till your fingers bled? Brian Adams, I did not. Ryan Adams. Ryan Adams, right? Brian Adams. I did not. Played it till my fingers bled. But that could be read a different way. We're not going to talk about that. Baron, question. If she subpoenas the phone records and gets nothing because they use burner phones, I learned learning all this legal stuff. God bless you. Well, they would have to answer every phone number they've used, or they could lie under oath. That's their call. I mean, I guess wouldn't put it past them, but yeah, I mean, that's something you would ask. Like, that's your interrogatory. List every phone number you've used in the last 12 months. Would Utah attorneys file a motion to stay Brian Harpole's case pending outcome of TR's case to avoid any discovery coming out that would hurt one side or the other? And no, you can't say, but judge, the truth might set my case back. I mean, what kind of argument is that? No. But judge, if they're allowed to depose these people, they might find out who did it. That's a weird legal argument. One, if I'm a judge, I'm not inclined to entertain. Thank you for the inspiration to seek the truth in all you do. Fact-based music videos and sourced dossiers and more formats coming soon here at Fetty Slop on X. Yeah, we're going to get some weird stuff coming out of this, I guarantee you. Paging Fleet, Baron just blessed you with more content. I don't remember which part. Love CO and RBP. Don't like this deep feeling of our First Amendment being under attack like this by our corrupt government and Einstein elites. Disgusted. Yeah, there's something going on. Thoughts on a GoFundMe for CO to take on this lawsuit to ensure the subpoena? Should she pursue this? Again, I think she and George need to meet with their team of lawyers. They have very highly competent lawyers. I know who they are. These are very smart people. George is a very smart man. Candace is a very smart woman. They will get together and make the decision in the best interest of their family. I don't think we should fire up a GoFundMe to try to encourage them one way or the other. Now, if they decide to go forward, crowdsource. I mean, I've been part of a crowdsourced lawsuit before. It's an effective way to come up with the proceeds to fight something. Another incredible episode. I'm curious. Do you anticipate any lawsuits coming your way from this investigation? Kutgwa. Keep up the good work, Crisis King. I don't think so. Crisis King indeed. I've not done anything wrong. I give my opinion. I say allegedly a lot. I tell you what is my opinion. I haven't accused anyone that I'm aware of anything. If I have, send me a note. I'll be happy to make a correction. I'm certainly not intending to accuse anyone of anything. I just want to know who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. And right now, I don't know the answer to any three of those questions. So how could I accuse someone? Could a new autopsy always be allowed in the result of this lawsuit? Is his body still around? I think that's up for debate, right? Yep, show everything. Because as we all know, no matter how much you scrub a computer, a phone, any kind of technology, it's still traceable somewhere. Well, that's terrifying. Every time you say Fort Huachuca, you make me want to karate chop the air. I kind of think that myself. In my head, it's Fort Huachuca. Well, Yeah, I'm a little scared for Mikey now, too, to be honest. That's why you should race to the courthouse, get some security. Should Candace hold off requesting the case be dismissed in order to obtain information that is available only subpoena? No, you can't do that. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too in law. You either, so there's a little legal jargon here for you. So under Rule 12, you can file a motion to dismiss. 12B6 is the one most commonly used, and that's they failed to state a claim for which relief can be granted. There's a subject matter jurisdiction claim. It's 12H3, I think is what it is, 12H3. It's been a long time since I've used these, but it can be raised at any time by anyone, including the judge. Sua sponte, they can bring it up without your knowledge. The Supreme Court uses this a lot. You know, when you get a case all the way to the Supreme Court, and it's been litigated at the level, it's been going on for years, and all of a sudden the Supreme Court tosses it out on standing. Almost always that's 12H3. What they're saying is there's no standing, there's no jurisdiction, there's no way a federal court can weigh in on this. Again, because federal courts are courts of limited subject matter jurisdiction. You know, the district court is not a constitutional court. You realize that it is a statutory court. The only constitutional court is the Supreme Court. Now, the Constitution does allow the legislature, the Congress, to establish district courts. But in doing so, what they did was they limited the jurisdiction. And what they said is basically, hey, everybody has a right to a state court. You can just wander into state court anytime you want. If we're going to pay for these courts, we're going to make sure the caseload is manageable because we don't want to have to go out and hire a bunch of judges. And, you know, so we're going to put some limits on it. And that's where you get your statutory limits on what can be filed in federal court. But I bring all that up to say is if you decide to bypass these 12B dismissals, you don't get them again. It has to be in your first responsive pleading. There are some very limited exceptions to that. So if you're going to appeal to dismiss for lack of personal jurisdiction, for example, that would have to be in your first initial responsive pleading. Otherwise, you waive it. You've now subjected yourself to the jurisdiction of the court. So no, you can't go on and do the discovery and then later come back and say, now we want to dismiss it. At that point, you would go under Rule 56 and you would file a motion for summary judgment, which is essentially a dismissal with evidence. We've done discovery, and I still think the case should be dismissed. From a defendant's perspective, I still think it should be dismissed. What they're saying is, even if we take all the facts in the light most favorable to the plaintiff, I still win. I still win. I hope that answers your question. I wasn't trying to be confusing. I'm not pedant. I do not try to explain things complicated ways. I'm trying to make it easy. I know some people do that. They try to sound smart. I'm not trying to sound smart. I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible without taking too much time. One of the greatest legal movies of all time. No doubt. No doubt. You want to know what a courtroom is really like with a little humor? My Cousin Vinny. They do a great job. Way better than A Few Good Men. A Few Good Men is totally fake. My Cousin Vinny, totally real. EK is the type of person that believes she is above us asking questions. Her mentality is that of an elite who used to being able to get away with lies and never have to face consequences or confrontation until now. Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I have nothing to add to that. It was well stated. Chance he sued because he knows the narrative is collapsing and he wants to put the story out before others, knew the media attention it would get, getting ahead of public opinion. No, I don't think so. I don't buy it, guys. I don't buy it. Don't buy it. Baron, I sent you photos of the first person Washington County Sheriff identified as shooters, not TR. My email was hacked. Did you get the images? No, because I don't check email very much anymore if I don't have to. But if what you sent me was what the other person sent earlier, that was an AI generated image. The trial is not taking place in Louisiana. If you're talking about the lawsuit we looked at tonight, that's in Middle District, Tennessee. If you're talking about Tyler Robinson's case, that's in Utah. I don't know what you're talking about in Louisiana. Lawsuit is so outrageously badly executed. Is there any possibilities be it meant to be a gift to Candace? No, I don't think so. Again, you can. Yeah, at TPUSA tonight, it's Operation Enron. You old heads know what that means. I'm serious. If I'm driving by TPUSA tonight, I'm curious whether there are cars there and whether You hear the faint sound of a shredder in the background. Although shredders these days are not like, I don't own any paper. I worked at a tech company. This is a true story. A tech company. We were in a high-tech company. I worked there for almost 5 years, 4 years. How long was I there? Almost 5 years. We didn't own a printer. We didn't own a shred of paper. We didn't have a filing cabinet. Like, we did business. We had, I'm not going to say what all we did, but I mean, millions of dollars going in and out every year. No paper in the office. I remember when I first got there, I was like, where's the filing cabinet? Where's the print? Like, why are there just desks here? Where do you put your paper? They're like, no paper. Like, what do you mean no paper? It's one of those, like, the desk, all the desks went up and down. You could stand, you could sit, but they didn't have drawers. And the office, I'm like, I'm a lawyer. I need paper. They're like, yeah, you got to get over that. What do you mean get over it? We do paper. We're lawyers. We print. No, not printing anymore, son. We don't own one. You don't have a printer? No. You don't have a filing cabinet? No. What if I need to look at paper? Well, you won't. Not if you work here, you won't. I was like, okay. All right. Duly noted. You adjust. I'm sure TPUSA doesn't have paper. Why would they need paper? Could he be doing this to get ahead of anything? Low key getting to the court first, trying to clear his name. Everything seems easy to rebut. No, I don't think so. There's so much easier way to do it. Why would you do it this way? Baron, heading to 300,000. Are we there? I didn't look very often. I should. Where are we? Oh, that's the Clips channel. I was like, oh, we're only at 7,000. Oh, go subscribe to the Clips channel right now. Baron Coleman Clips. YouTube.com/@Baron Coleman Clips. 282. Wow, we are getting it. Good job, guys. Thank you. Subscribe, like, share with friends and family. Proud to be one of the first who's been here since Google Trends. Been here for every live except 3. I had to rewatch ASAP. Thanks to Ian for sending us all your way. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot to me. The old heads, the old timers who were here during the Google Trends days, you've seen a lot of changes around these parts. Mikey setting Andrew up to be the fall guy. Get a lawyer, Andrew. Leave the dark side. Thank you for all you do, Baron. Go, Max. Christ is king. My first call, if I'm Andrew Colvette, this is God's honest truth. Even if I had no idea this was coming, even if I was sitting at my desk and thought, what? Charlie Kirk has been shot? What are you talking about? I'm calling a lawyer tonight. If I have someone inside TPUSA that's suspicious of me, I'm calling a lawyer. And I'm taking tomorrow off. It's Friday. Taking tomorrow off. It'll be telling if he's on the podcast in the morning. I was watching their podcast today. There were 200 people watching. 200. You know, when Charlie was on there, there'd be like 30,000 on watching live. 200. Nobody wants to watch the Blake and Andrew show. Andrew, go get a lawyer. Mikey, go get a lawyer. Get to the courthouse. It's a race. One of you is going to get there first. It's closed right now, but it'll open in the morning. Baron, your Tom Hanks version of F. Lee Bailey was awesome. Thank you. Christ is king. Yeah, that's who I was channeling. F. Lee Bailey used to do. Are you telling me? Go find some classic F. Lee Bailey footage. Always had that look on his face. Like, could not believe you were alive and could breathe air. Are you telling me that? You got to have somebody to channel. Got to have somebody to channel. Just for being you. Thank you. Canuck Bucks at that. My humble host. That was an Oscar performance. Thank you. Thank you. Butterflies get swarmed for landing somewhere that scares the exterminators. They're spending real money to make sure you only see a cockroach. Dom, I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what that means. I wish I did. I'm convinced Ben Shapiro's eyebrows are involved in this ridiculous.
Now, why would you say that? No. Here I am just doing my podcast, and you're blaming me? That makes me angry.
Yeah. Maybe, actually, the more I think about it. Might be onto something. So much high IQ information wrapped up in a top-notch comedy routine. Love that, Baron Coleman. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Baron. Love your show. Thought TR witnesses weren't supposed to speak about the case, let alone file lawsuits. Discovery. Christ is king indeed. He's not a TPUSA employee, and I guess on a narrow reading of the judge's order, but I think that's stretching a little bit. Hi, Brian. Can we see your action plan for Denver on the following day for comparison? Christ is king and beginning to no longer be surprised. Well, Jim Bailey, in his lawsuit, he said he was not involved in that the next day when we raised the question of how were you getting home? How are you getting home? We, the people, are not asking for a dismissal. We want to see all the records in discovery. This is for you, Charlie. Go Max Candace. Thank you, Baron, for all you do. Christ is king indeed. Mr. Harpole, you're out of order. I had to switch between the judge and the lawyer, and then I decided to just be both. Why not just be both? It's my courtroom. I can do what I want. I've created it. It's right here. Oh, gosh, that's funny. But Baron, in the words of today's kids, you were lit tonight. That is lit. Longtime listener, first time super chat. Need this laugh tonight. Love you and your show. Christ is king indeed. Second super chat tonight. Can't help it. You're cracking me up. I'm laughing so hard. Love all your shows, but I think tonight's my fave. Thank you. Christ is king indeed. Hey, when someone files something ridiculous, a ridiculous response is all that's warranted. That's what I was hoping to get across tonight. And I hope I've succeeded. Mr. Harpole, are you telling me you want to hand over to TPUSA and Miss Owens on a silver platter? King B, you're nailing it. Go Max. Jesus loves you. Thank you. Thank you. Loves you too. Loves you more. So many things to smile about today, but the 20 minutes where you were transformed into Foghorn Leghorn was the cherry on the top. Truth to light. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Foghorn Leghorn. Foghorn would make a great lawyer. Make a great lawyer. Baron's the new Judge Judy show. I choked on my popcorn watching today. Simply amazing. The world needs more Barons. Absolutely brilliant. I would be a good Judge Judy. I would even steal her euphemism. Like, I would tell people, don't you pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. Baron, you're the man. I've loved your style. Day one, if not quite trends early, but thank you for all you do. Thank you. Thank you. The fives of dollars is killing me. Lawsuit also says 9/11, 2011, not 2001. It all seems like a joke or a distraction. Yes. Bad timing for me to decide to eat fried chicken this late. I'm literally choking listening to you. Hey, be careful. The dangerous world out there. CO posted on X about how funny you're making this. You guys are killing this investigation. Love you both, Christ is king. I didn't know the principal was watching live. Thank you for telling me. Oh, gosh. Hey, Tilly, you're famous. Quick whack. She's famous. She just runs around and tells me that all the time. I'm blaming you and my family. Asked why I'm imitating Buford D. Justice poorly. Well, Widow here. Thanks, Baron. My Cousin Vinny is one of my favorite movies. It is. Oh, it's great. Such a good one. Her grandfather started Loomered. Do you know Laura's roots were planted in AZ before Florida? Most have no idea what her grandfather did. His name? Harry Pincus Loomer, the psychiatrist pioneering with iproniazid. Dom, your research is unparalleled. I had no idea all of that. I had no idea. The clacking of the gavel made that rant so much better. Thank you. Thank you. You can thank the guy who made it and sent it. Very talented listener. Baron, do you think BH is giving the gift of discovery evidence? No. Birthday to Candace? A birthday gift again? No, I don't think so. Hi, Principal. Yeah, I didn't know the principal was here. Thank you. Best show ever. Laughing so much. Love you, Candace Daisy. Christ is king Indeed. Go Max. Will do. Thank you. Mikey would never off himself. Not with those hips. Hey, I'm going to give him a pass on all that stuff if he comes forward. That's manly. Hey, coming forward at this point in the investigation at that group, this is manly. I'll think he has hair on his chest. Honestly, I'm being honest. That's a very manly move. And I would be very impressed. Could the lawsuit be an excuse for Brian, TPUSA, to have discovery and see what info and proof Candace has? I don't think so. No. It's a better thought than the other way around, that they're just giving it to her. It would be amazing if you were CO's lawyer for this case. Only, I'll tell you what, I'll do it if she will allow me to go into character for the deposition. Mr. Harpole. Like, if she'll let me pull my Mr. Harpole character out, then I'll do it. Short of that, no. Time for you to start a new TV court program. Real Baron Court. I actually like that. I like that idea. That'd be a lot of fun. Bring a plaintiff and a defendant up on either side and hold it. Hold on a second. He's not done talking. Hush. Yo, B-Dog, your Southern attorney, Mr. Harpole. Mr. Harpole, you got me cracking up. Too blanking funny. And Candace calling out bus driver Mikey. OMG legend. Today was a good day. Christ is king indeed. I would say today is probably one of the great days of the investigation, if I'm being honest. Thank you. I appreciate that. Glad I could help you laugh a little. A law question. Can there be a discovery with CK Kiss? Yeah, of course. Still in a preliminary phase with Tyler. I think a lot they lawfully can't release. Not TPUSA. They're not involved, remember? Can't wait to see Adfleet's Southern lawyer Coleman. You know what's coming. Matt Sarlson, attorney, is one of the tribe and is reposting Larry Loomer, Palm Beach. Yeah, I think he's one of the lawyers on the thing, isn't he? They need Dan Flood's meta glasses too. We watched him turn them on. Yeah, I mentioned that. I'd like to see him. Country lawyer Baron Bailey is cracking me up. Thanks for the chuckles. Love this high IQ outfit. Doing my best over here, guys. Chance BH failed to give CO discovery because he's disgruntled for fighting. No, I don't think so. You guys all think it, though. That's how bad the lawsuit is. It's my 53rd birthday today. Love your show. So thankful for another trip around the sun. Go Max. Christ is king. Becky. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Baron, are you on worried you're going to be taken out? No, I do. No. Candace has the bucks to protect herself. You don't, I think. To have a kid. Don't tell everyone I'm poor. I mean, why would they take me out? All I do on this show is find publicly available information and bring it to you guys. Sometimes in an informative and sometimes in a moderately humorous way. If something happens to me, they all gonna look guilty. So that's just bad. No. Picture Mrs. Coleman outside the door shaking her head. What is he doing in there? Dismissed. Mr. Harpole. Clack, clack, clack. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get a lot of questions when I walk out that door tonight. What? I know they sometimes wonder when I get loud back here what I'm doing. But yeah, I heard my name was mentioned somewhere. What did I win? You didn't get sued, so that you won that. I think you're a canary. I thought you were a canary in the coal mine with Brian Harpole, but I guess I'm wrong. This is Blake Bednar's, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. You showed up in the lawsuit. You got like 2 whole pages dedicated to you. So go read it. See what you missed. I think you're fine. Maybe Mr. Harpole. No. I know you guys all think that, but I don't agree. How dare you and Candace not have shows tomorrow after today? Gary mentioned being in Chef's Kiss. Being mentioned as Chef's Kiss. Yeah, big Gary Milton is even better. Appreciate you, sir. Christ is king indeed. Christ is king indeed. I can't have a show. I have an obligation I cannot miss, and I'm very excited for. So I cannot be. Y'all take it up with Candace. You mean Harpole's attorney didn't warn him about the consequence of filing a lawsuit, allegedly one that could open the door to discovery into his actions before, during, and after the murder of a high-profile political operative? I hope they papered over that. I hope they sent a lot of emails and memos saying we adequately briefed him on the consequences of this, and we've guaranteed him X, Y, and Z, and if something happens, it's not our fault. I hope. Brian just joined Team. Like on the website? Like on his show? Surely not. Surely not. Brian, you're welcome here anytime. Happy to have you. Let's see here. How do you even find his show? Where is it? What is it called? He's not even on. Oh, not even on. Okay. Now this is an interesting one. Maybe the guilt is beginning to surface and he just wants it all to come out, not trying to look at it from a different side. That I'm almost okay with that. Like maybe. Does this lawsuit filing feel like a red herring? Crazy idea. Spitball. Could he be using this lawsuit as a means to expose the truth as an out for himself? I don't know. Legal means. Yeah, again, you guys, Boise Jet guy, a lot of you guys think that, and I'll probably get another few chats that say that, but I just don't agree with it. Fair enough. I've done probably 5 super chats because you were simply fire tonight, humor, truth, your mind, law, advice, succinctly putting into words what we are thinking. Christ is king indeed. Susan, those are very, very kind words. Thank you. Baron, you cured constipation and a kidney stone. That's Dr. Barron to you. If I'm out here curing people, that's Dr. Barron. I need a stethoscope. Stat. LMAO and PMSL. And I have dyslexia. Having to pre-write Super Chat has hid my dyslexia. I'm going to go Celtic Warrior. I'm going to do dyslexia on both of them. I don't want to bring your habits to the forefront here. You should help represent Candace. You're a lawyer. I love to have on my side if I ever in trouble. Christ is king. Well, thank you. Those are very kind words. I love that you're lawyering for Candace without technically lawyering for Candace. Damn good, big bro. Go, Max. Thank you. Harpole dropped a bogus suit designed to lose but produce discovery. They expose people who knows are guilty but cannot expose directly. You know, so many of you guys think that I'm starting to question myself. I don't see it, but how can 1 million people be wrong? Baron, you and your show has been a life milestone maker. There was before RBP and after RBP. And quite frankly, it is a tragedy that our IQ is stifled for so long. Thank you, and God bless you and your family. Christ is king. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I can say. We're going to need Baron's Calvin Candy voice for every attorney impression going forward. Don't trust your soul to no backwards Southern lawyer. Trust your soul to no backwards Southern lawyer. That's a good song. I've seen it live. Must cost Erica a fortune needing to buy flame-resistant pants. Okay. Love what you're doing. This ETX family loves you and yours. Baron, keep it up. Cold Open was hilarious. God bless. Just doing my job up here, guys. Best YouTube channel ever. Guys, the principal may still be watching. Second best. Oh, don't get me in trouble. Have the king tingle. Hail the king, tingle my thing. We need correct Eureka merch. This is truly high Q outfit. Candace out here taking notes of country lawyer defense. What if she just played my defense and sent it to the judge and said, please dismiss the case? Do you see what's happening here, Judge? Candace hired lawyer just plays Baron in court. Yes. That's what I was just saying. Amazing Mikey trending on X right now. What? I got to see that. Is that true? Candace Owens alleges TPUSA insider told her to investigate Kirk assassination.
Bad day to be Mikey. Oh, gosh. Owens said Mikey McCoy, through a third party last December, messaged her to look further into Andrew Colvette regarding the September 2025 shooting of TPUSA founder Charlie Kirk at a Utah event. She shared this with Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, and COO Justin Strife, framing it as retaliation amid her feud with the group, where she's questioned the official narrative of the lone gunman, Tyler Robinson. Supporters see it as explosive, while critics call it baseless gossip. With no response yet from TPUSA as internal tensions simmer. I scrolled down, the first picture is Andrew Colvette going. That's great. That's great. Holy doo-doo. Oh, man, this is great. Oh, the top relevant person's Mikey McCoy. And then Andrew Colvette. Oh, gosh. Wow. This is amazing. What a day. What a day. Welcome to 37, Candace. Looks good on you. Looks good on you. Awesome show. Adfleet has some great content to work with. I just doing a show. Harpole trying to show good faith and giving Discovery. His bro is bigwig in Texas DOS in Austin. I don't know what DOS is. DOS to me is Department of State. I guess Texas Department of State. Hi, Q Papi. Papasote. Gringo Bello. Hello from South America. Well. Hola. Solo entiendo muy poco. When Baron dressed as Erica Shady, our 4-year-old son said he's changing him clothes. Yeah, he's changing him clothes. All right. It's called a whole new meaning to Mikey chasing on out of there. Yeah. Yeah. Baron, while Candace is queen, you are the king. Each and every episode is better than the amazing, fantastic, incredible Mikey McCoy. May God bless you and your family always. Thank you. Thank you. Isn't Integrity Security a subsidiary of TPUSA? I don't know that. I don't know their corporate structure. I don't know that. I just gifted myself an early birthday present with a Candace Book Club sub and Baronisms tea. Go get them, B. They're cracking. We love you. Oh, we love you. Thank you. Thank you. Love our high IQ community. Would EK also be required to hand over all of Charlie's notebooks? Hoping this comes out correctly as I misplaced my glasses again. It came out perfect, Sassy. Charlie's notebooks. I'm trying to think of the relevance. I mean, Discovery's pretty broad, but I don't know about the relevance of that. Could be interesting to see if she could force the discovery of the video of Erica being appointed. I think it's relevant. If they're lying about that, goes kind of the motive of the internal decision. I mean, hey, let's add it to the discovery list, Candace. Like to see the video of Charlie appointing Erica. King B, best show ever. My Barona dog. My stomach hurts from so much laughter. My hubby and doggy think I've lost it. You haven't. God bless you for being CO's big brother. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Thank you. I'm counselor. Participation in, foreknowledge, and cover up of. I talk good, even right, even gooder. Your humble JD dropout. Well, Matt, you could have written a better complaint, even dropping out. Basically, the only thing missing from the introduction is that Candace owns a lovely and beautiful black woman that was attacked by black mold. Oh, you're talking about the picture. I was like, what are you talking about? Thank you. Thank you. I can't read yours, Boise Jet guy. People make fun. People say I'm being ugly. But Baron, what did you say to make the journalist cry? People got to know. Oh, I didn't tell that story, did I? That's a good question. Man, we're going late tonight. Sorry, guys. So she called, and well, my client calls, and he says, "Hey, CNN's doing a hit piece on me. They've given me an hour to respond. You reach out to them, just let them know that I need more time." And I said, "Yeah, sure." So I called her. We actually became friends after this. And we talked. I don't know her. I mean, I'll talk to her still, but we talked several times in the couple of months after that.
But I called her. I was driving somewhere, and I had like 45 minutes before I was going to be somewhere. I don't remember where I was. But I was driving, and I called her, and I said, hey, let me ask you a question. I said, I represent so-and-so. He calls me. He tells me you just sent him an email, said he's got an hour to respond. She said, yeah, you guys want to respond? I said, let me ask you a question. I said, when you told your parents you wanted to be a journalist, were you proud of that decision? Like, is that something you were proud of? She said, oh, yeah. Why? I said, because did you also tell them you were going to be a hack journalist that wrote hit pieces and sabotaged people, and that you knew you took weeks to write a piece, and you came out and you're such a piece of trash that this is how you do your job, that this is the type of place you would work for, a place that would allow you to print something like this? Did you tell them that? When you said, I'm going to go be a journalist, did you tell them you were going to be a dog doo-doo journalist? I was using uglier words. A dog doo-doo journalist who wrote hit pieces, who was a total hack, who did bull butter like this. Is that what you wanted to, when you were a little kid? Is that what you were describing that you wanted to be one day? Like, one day I want to grow up and I want to write hit pieces on people, and I want to be unfair, and I don't want to get their opinion, and I want to put them in a bad spot. Is that what you wanted to do? Is that who you wanted to be? And when you lay your head on your pillow at night, are you proud of yourself? She started crying. No. Can he give me a statement by tomorrow? Like, yeah, we'll get you a statement by tomorrow. Sure. But we ended up talking. I felt bad. I called her back a few days later. I called her the next day. Said, I just emailed you a statement. I called her a couple days later, and I just said, hey, I didn't mean to be so ugly. And she said, no, I honestly appreciated what you said. She said, because the reality is, no, I didn't. And I get so caught up in just the industry standard, and this is how we do things, and we reach out to people at the last second just to see if they want to comment. I said, you sent me a 4,000-word article and gave us an hour to read it, comprehend it, gather documents, gather support, figure out what we want. I said, it's just not the way to do it. And then she called me on something else totally unrelated, and asked if I knew somebody who would talk to her about this. I think we developed a respect. And I haven't talked to her in a long time. That was 5 years ago. But Barrel, sorry. Yeah, that's what I said. I said a lot of uglier words than I just said here. Judge O'Shaughnessy, after watching Barron's video in court that day, is like, well, this is fake and gay. Let's cut to lunch. Who wants Taco Bell? Yeah, but Judge O'Shaughnessy, he'd be going for like bangers and mash or something, right? Or what do they eat in Ireland? Cabbage and corned beef. Who's up for a Guinness, eh? I picture Judge O'Shaughnessy wearing like a green robe. Counsel, did you or did you not go to the post office today? I did. Your stuff's sitting over there, so it's not quite in range. I did, and thank you. Thank you. I'm going to show it. I'll show it on the next member show. Absolutely amazing. Thank you. I genuinely appreciate it. Both items were there. I've opened it, checked it out. Absolutely amazing. Thank you. Genuinely. I find this reckless that this was a strategic move by BH to give CO access, showing an inside job, or a ploy to see what she's really got. Again, I'm not buying it. Classy jazz. Love your party. Yeah, but there's no food. We hired Mr. Harpole. The Harpole forgot to deliver the barbecue. Hey, guys, just got out of choir. What did I miss? Not much. Tame show. Also, these days, I find myself using phrases such as, I will allow it, or hold please. My boyfriend resisted, but he's now a baroni. Christ is king indeed. He sounds brilliant, Go. Sounds absolutely brilliant. Dr. Harry B. Loomer obituary shows Larry Loomer's auntie in of France. Did you get an ancestor? Did you or an ancestor get loomered? You may be entitled to financial compensation. Dom, that's funny. That's well done. I was shocked to hear Candace, call out Mikey. I saw Mikey and switched it. What did you think her reason is for calling that out now instead of earlier? I don't question the principal. The principal's always on time. The principal's never early nor late. She arrives just when she means to. I joined a non-denominational church after leaving Amish. I've become interested in Catholicism since Charlie's death, but I'm unsure of being confirmed because of my background. Wary of religiousness thoughts. I don't know. Just get cozy, get comfortable. I don't talk you into doing something you don't want to do. I will say though that all spirituality is in a sense religion. Religion is not the bureaucratic structure. Religion is how you comport yourself. So if you have something you do now, you're already religious. Yeah. CO read my comment about how these attorneys should consider malicious prosecution claims for BS lawsuits. Not right. Taking on to be relevant. I wonder about people who file stuff like this. Protect the body. That's all they had to do. Yeah. Yeah. I'll read this. Please read from Psalm 7, David's song to the Lord regarding Candace's next move. 15 and 16. Go, Max. Love you, B. I'll give it a spin. Only because I know where the Psalms are. Right in the middle. You just open the Bible in half and you're probably pretty close. Got to put my F. Lee Baileys on. Hold, please. Man, I read so much better with these. I always wonder why I struggle and squint all day long. It's like I'm reading the Super Bible. That's huge. 15 and 16. Consider how one conceives iniquity, is pregnant with mischief, and gives birth to deception. He digs a hole and bores it deep, but he falls into the pit he has made. Now that we're all thoroughly terrified. Mikey. Be true hero this day. Connect with Baron. Yes, be a hero. Hope Erica sues Zach Costello for defamation. Why? I like Zach. I don't want him to get sued. Harpole, giving Candace the right to ask for discovery in all areas, trying to help us. His bro is bigwig in Texas DPS. Okay. Department of Public Safety. They know the law. Best show ever, RBP. Oh, best ever show, RBP. You rock. F. Lee Bailey was awesome. Christ is king. Indeed. Hey, B, as in F. Lee B. Tonight's show is my fave so far. Taught us grammar, law 101, honesty, comedy, acting. I will give Erica tips. It's on her resume. She's the actress. I am just your humble host. All while cracking us up with BCL, backwood country lawyer accent. Love you. Christ is king indeed. That's a very kind comment. Thank you. How many shredded trucks in Scottsdale tonight? Yeah, I don't know. Case dismissed. Yeah. Okay. Mudbone. I don't know if I'm Mudbone, but I'll allow it. Love this community. Let's keep supporting these truth tellers. Candace and Baron have platforms. Let's remember that we are all contributors to the global investigation. Go, Max. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Very kind. You're such an asset to this investigation. God prepared you for this moment. We're all better off for your courage and boldness. Boldness? Yeah, rats jumping ship. First to the courthouse, Mikey. Get up there. Can't decide if you're giving Matlock, Foghorn, Leghorn, Yosemite Sam. Yes. The answer is yes. Yes. My old law partner kind of talked like that. I wish I'm not going to do it to him because I don't want to out him, but he kind of actually talked like that in real life. Not quite to that extent. He wasn't quite as theatrical with it, but he had an old Southern accent. Kind, benevolent King Baron. Could you please search Google image for the Dr. Dre white sequins? Imagine Blake Neff speed, then pair with Eminem. EK, just a humble grand jury Baronites small request. Thanks. What am I searching? Dr. Dre's white sequins? Dr. Dre white. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, that Dr. Dre? I'm scared to show that. Why did he wear that? Okay. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Brain bleach. I don't even want to do that to you guys. Brian H., the self-appointed unanointed canary, who is, by his own example, in my opinion, professionally unfit on every level. Baron Coleman Esquire, don't even try it. You will inevitably lose. Thank you. Tennessee seems great, but are the libs overtaking it like they did Montana? Thinking of moving there soon to escape the Washington hellscape. I think Washington is beyond saving. I agree Washington's beyond saving. Tennessee's great. I think we actually, for what it's worth, 2024 voted for a higher percentage in the presidential race for Trump than in 2020. So I think more, like all the people that have moved here from California are more right-wing than I am. And they're scared of it because they're so gun-shy from being in California. They're like, I'm like, what made you move here? They're like, well, didn't want to take the vaccine. I'm like, dude, you're safe here, brother. You don't have to hide that. I mean, no one did. Look around. None of us took it. You don't have to hide that here. Or they'll couch it. They're like, oh, we came from medical freedom. I'm like, no. Just admit it. You're tired of liberal politics. You're fine here. You can say that. Like 80% of your neighbors are Republicans. Prediction, RBP going to be way past Glenn Beck in ratings. Yeah, he was one ahead of me today. I was pissed. Sir Barron, thank you for the highly entertaining show. I found it comical that Harpole was slinging the blame to Dan Flood. Very interesting, all of it. I noticed that. There was a little shade on old Danny boy. I can't tell if EK is part of a conspiracy or completely unaware. She reminds me of Tammy Faye, who went to jail and came back to her supporters claiming innocence and cashing checks until the end. Well, I'm not going to keep my mouth shut there. I agree. Am I the only one secretly hoping Baron and Candace will team up to mop the floor with Brian Harpole in court? I think not. Great show today. Team Brandis. Barandis? Yeah, well. His motive sounds like a jilted woman to me, Erica and him. She got what she needed. Now she has no use for him. He got tossed and fired. He's now out for revenge, anything possible nowadays. Now, I like that. The old jilted lover. Why does it have to be a jilted woman? I've seen men be just as petty. Just as petty. Thanks for all you do. Hello to Tilly. I'm telling you, she's famous. She never ceases to tell me that. IIQ indeed. Christ is King. Much love and many prayers for all the Coleman crew. You, Mrs. Daisy, Casey, and kids. Daisy's not a Coleman. I want to clarify that. But thank you. Love you, Candace and Coach's coverage and explanations on Charlie's case. Is Mikey and his wife still working with TPUSA? They are. They both do, yeah. Professional unfitness is a great t-shirt idea. That would be great. A hat that says professionally unfit. I'd wear that. I would 100% wear that. I might get that order just because you said that. Taking MAGA shirts to Goodwill. Yeah. Do they want Mitch and Candace tied up in this lawsuit so they can't speak about some fort and possible pictures? They will drag on forever. Maybe Brian hopes it will keep them quiet for a while. I don't know why that would tie him up. I hadn't thought of that, but I don't know why that would. I don't know why that would tie him up. Baron, thank you for helping shoulder this burden with Candace. Much respect, sir. Thank you. I'm licking my chops at this one. Did I say that too? Oh, gosh. Why do you guys let me say stuff? Why didn't someone stop me? Like, ho. You said licking chops. Dial it back. You're getting a little out of control even for a podcast. Yeah, it's been known to say it. Edge. I'm late. Shredding party. But not letting MM off the hook, I felt someone would crack, regardless of what others think. And upper TPUSA will crack. And yes, security is sus. They did not aid and possess guilty. Hey, Edge, first, thank you. I got your card today. Very kind. Very, very kind. I got your gift. Thank you. I genuinely appreciate that. And you will see that gift on the next member show. So stay tuned. Let's not forget Brian's state of the team did have matching incompetent tattoos. It was the highlight of the Sean Ryan pod. Did he claim they were incompetent tattoos? I must have missed that part. Queen Candace wears the armor of Jesus. She's invincible to the demons attacking her. Strong is the one who lives in truth. Christ is king indeed. Card red penalty. Please smash that like button, fam. Let's get I don't know what that number is, to 20,000 tonight. Hourglass, purple sand, orange, hands, yellow, heart red. What's all that racket? But thank you. Thank you. I don't know what those things were, but yes, don't forget to hit the like button. Where are we on likes? Are we doing a good job? Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're doing well. You guys are great. You guys are great. I no need to chastise you tonight. I'm from CLT. A friend of my husband got a call from Larry L. trying to pay him to go to CLT Airport to take pictures of Candace in the airport. At the same time, the news of the lawsuit dropped. Really? Why is she in the Charlotte airport tonight? She was at home. Hold on. I'm sending this to the principal. She needs to see this. Is that true? Is this true? Oh man, I got a ton of comments. Let's see. Add photos that a listener sent this. Is that true? That's crazy. Appreciate the facts and energy you bring. Always, the truth has a way of coming to light. Keep lighting it up. Thank you. Thank you. I'm disgusted by all these sloppy fools. I won't watch EF because it's excruciating to listen to her. As always, go Max. Appreciate you, Baron. Much love from your best Alaska Indigenous supporter. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. From the great state of Alaska. Standing O show. Superb. Thank you. I appreciate that. Genuinely. Thank you. I'm over 3.5 hours and I got to pee, so I'm going a little quicker. Battle Buns activated from here on out. Thank you. After you read Brian's lawsuit against Candace, I think we just realized how in sync and agreement we are with Candace on pretty much everything. Yeah, I think she's a careful reporter. I mean, she says what she can prove, and she does, and she says what she can't, and she summarizes. Baron Cartoon Visual. To get your fix with random background bird chirps, put a dead battery in your smoke detector. 20 minutes later, we'll see you swinging your rake around the room. No, I keep a whole host of 9 volts on the off chance that happens. I don't like that sound. That sound drives me crazy. I used to have a caller that called in a talk radio show all the time. He's dead now, so I'll say his name. His name was Walkin' John DeVoe. Wasn't his real name. That's his radio name. And he called for years, every radio show. He would just sit around all day long and call every radio show on both talk radio stations. I mean, like 6-7 shows a day. And I'll be doggone if there was not a smoke detector chirping in the background. And before you ask, yes, he was. And I don't understand. Like, I was like, Brian, change this. John DeVoe, change the smoke detector. Brother, he actually tragically got murdered. I don't think it was about the smoke detector, but it was very tragic. He got murdered. Could have been about the smoke detector. If so, I would have understood it. I like John DeVoe. I'm not making light of it. He would appreciate that humor. He would have appreciated that. If you ever need any 2A hardware, we got you Baron, Firearm Land Official. Sounds official. Says it right there. Real Candace, appreciate everything you do for the truth. Grateful for Baron. May God bless you both. Christ is king. Go Max. Indeed. Christ is king indeed. P.S. I didn't get a notification for both of you today. Much love from your best Alaska supporter. So our best Alaska Indigenous supporter and our best Alaska supporter both checking in. The lack of notification is a little irritating. I'm the pest hounding EK about Fort Huachuca. Brian, have you ever been? Just asking, don't sue. I earn under 75,000. Not about what you earn. It's about what he wants. He wants his pound of flesh. Befuddled by daffodils again in this lawsuit. Yes. I'm afraid you're correct. It's all about our free speech. Handwriting history for my grandchildren so they know the truth. Thanks for all you do. Christ is king indeed. Yeah, I've noticed kids' handwriting is terrible these days, mine included. I mean, just being honest. But All kids. All kids. Cousin Barron, as a 35-year-old educator, as a 35-year educator with a master's in writing, I so appreciate your attention to grammatical detail, i.e. lack of parallelism with prepositions in the lawsuit. Awesome job, B. Angel, I would never let you down. I knew an Angel Parker. Do I know you? Is your husband amazing? Like a totally awesome guy? I knew an Angel Parker. I don't know if you're the same one. This new lawsuit may be poorly constructed, but that's not the point. They're continuing to try to weaponize the ignorance of the public and win in the court of public opinion. Great work, Barron. Christ is king indeed. I agree with you. Safety concerns canceled TPUSA events, but not attending White House Correspondents' Dinner to confront people. Then criticizing journalists filming during a possible active shooter while ignoring Tyler Farnsworth doing the same. Collective, all good criticisms, all very valuable. Good grief, Barron. Every show I say this is the best yet. This is the best yet. Thank you, Lim. Appreciate it. Thank you. Whoever conspired with the TPUSA clowns to take out Charlie has to realize what a bunch of morons they are at this point. Love what you do here, Barron. Go Max. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Mikey's probably guilty. Never will forget the walking away immediately thing. And since he's a new dad, wants to come clean as much as possible to serve the least amount of time. I don't know. Is there any recourse for frivolous lawsuits filings? Are we paying for it because it's federal? TPUSA is bleeding us dry. There actually is in Tennessee. It's called anti-SLAPP, SLAPP. And it is a protection against attempts to silence speech with frivolous lawsuits. So yeah, and what happens is if you file the motion, they have to, and you win, they have to pay your legal fees. Yes. I listened to Janet Jackson last night. My wife and I did before bed. Yeah, we played some good 80s. Janet Jackson played Control. Played Rhythm Nation. We had a good time. Cousin Coleman, Cousin Tara. I'm late, but I'm here. Quick question. Did you ever know the radio station B96 with TJ and Wild Bill? Also, is your birth name Barron? Well, that's awfully personal. B96 with TJ and Bill. Let me look. No, never heard of it. TJ and Wild Bill Cody. B96 in Chicago. They were fired after 10 months. That's a bad sign. No, was not aware of them. I bet they were great. And Barron, it's the birthday. Yeah. Why are you asking? Check the bird device for a bug. It's a good question. Good point. I could be doomed here. Came straight from Amazon, though. Does Amazon insert bugs? Maybe. I don't know. Barron, are you saying Brian only had a one-way flight? Brian knows what I'm saying. That my comment was to Brian, and he knows exactly what I'm saying. Your case is dismissed, son. I say your case is dismissed. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to have to go back and watch this and see what all I said. Oh, no. Say it isn't so. EK said CK texted DF saying he thought the left was going to kill him after CO said she had not seen the texts. We would get to confirm that lie. I think it was a lie as well. Great show, Barron. Excellent. I give more to support, but unfortunately, I have to live off my lowly professor's salary. Certainly not the Brentwood lifestyle of the 1990s. Jeff, I know you. You're my Facebook friend. Went to high school with you. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Excellent professor, Jeff Russell. Excellent professor. PR, it's all part of the bigger prize, free speech. It's like a big PR advertising campaign because everyone's talking about it right now. Next step, passing laws in Congress to limit free speech because they own both sides. You know, the whole like Congress limiting free speech, we still have a First Amendment. Like the Supreme Court would have to weigh in on it. Congress doesn't get to just take your right to speech. Remember, Congress shall make no law. That's the first four words. I had to count it out. Quattro. Quattro. Yes. If today's show doesn't move you in the top 10 territory, nothing will. Well, apparently I'm doomed. How much discovery can they get from Candace? Sources. Is it worth going through for the discovery she can get from him? Will be a lot to hold due to trial with Tyler. I don't know. I doubt they can get a lot that she doesn't already publicize. Whoa, the whoop ass cometh. Shawnee. Wow. Hold on, Shawnee. I don't think I'm looking at that right. Holy smokes. Shawnee, thank you. Thank you. And we brought a whole can. Mikey, we got you if you want your free conscience. Nothing but support from us, prayers. Yes, Mikey, please. Yes. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, Creature of Jekyll Island. Good call. If you're looking for a history book, that's definitely a good one. I have a video with entry and exit. Can I send it to you? I don't know what that means. You mean on Charlie? If you have a video with an entry and exit, and it's true, don't send it to me. Here's what you do. Open up the Buddha Steffi Facebook page. Show the video. Or not Facebook page, Rumble page, because YouTube will take it down. But show the video. Then go to X, show the video there, and you'll be the most famous podcaster in America. You don't have to show it to me. Because no one else has found it. You'll be the first. And I'm not being smart aleck. I'm just saying, it'll be amazing. King Baron, best RBB podcast ever. Seriously, you are an epic backbeat country lawyer. For show. Just a backbeat country lawyer with a curious mind. I sure love this high IQ community. So grateful for you and Queen Candace, royal truth seekers in God's own army. Truly love you both. Christ is King. Thank you. Very, very, very kind. Thank you. Love all you guys too. We're compiling a compendium to help the everyday man, woman, and child cut through the noise to the truth between the news influencer apparatus. Public access will be open soon. Thank you for inspiration and all that you do. I will be eager to see it. Fetty Slop. Thank you. Thank you. Same law firm Harpole uses against Candace employs Ben Shapiro's brother-in-law and is owned by Trump DOJ insider. Per Project Constitution. I did not know all that. That's interesting. This is what we've been waiting for with Barron having Candace's back. We may finally get some answers. Thank you for keeping us in the know. No. Christ is King indeed. The Deviling of Andrew Colvett coming soon. Blessings from Canada. Canada. Thank you. Trump used to be the most deposed human. Candace better not one day say in a surprised and condescending voice, are we still talking about Charlie Kirk? Oh my gosh. I'll be beside myself if she takes a page out of his book. Are we still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? Text in case you just showed. I heard there's talk about a lawsuit. Can we talk paraphrasing? BH isn't trying to help, and Mikey was before December meeting with EK. You're welcome for Bird Box to join. Thank you, Trisha. Did you put a bug in my Bird Box? They were asking. Did you bug the? I'm gonna take your word for it, Trisha. Did you bug the Bird Box? I heard there's talk about a lawsuit. Can we talk paraphrasing? BH isn't trying to help, and Mikey was before December meeting with EK. Okay. I got you. Thank you. Yeah, check for, see, they're scared to death about the Bird Box. Oh no, I'm in trouble. We got real problems on our hands, ma'am. They're scared to death over here, the Bird Box. 32 weeks prego. You're part of my nighttime routine. Antacid, massage, RBP. Baby's kicking every time you laugh. Christ is King. God bless. What a great blessing. What a great blessing. Having children. They're the best. Utah native. Family friend saw SUV with open door flying down road, describes seeing hands on neck. Will you email me immediately, like right this second? Right now? realbaronpodcast@gmail.com. Right this second. And say Utah native in the subject line, Utah native. Open door, something like that, so I can see it, because I'm going to check it in like 2 minutes, and I'm hoping there's an email there. That's a tip. Like, that's what I need the email for. That's what I need the email for. Thank you. Baron, forgive me if someone already mentioned it. Maybe Harpole had a change of heart and is allowing Candace the power of subpoena by suing. Someone has already mentioned it. First time super chat, usually watching after live. This was brilliant, legal, informative, and hilarious show. Wishing you, your family, and CEO the best. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Very kind of you. That's a big first super chat. You dove in head first. Please excuse if this has been covered, but FBH wants there to be discovery. And so pointing to the real Judas, like MM, divided they fall. It's been covered, and I'm not buying it, but I can't say for sure. Praying for Mikey's safety, that this will be a catalyst for exposing the truth, and poor George. He's going to have the world pressuring him. Christ is king. I don't think he'll have anyone pressuring him. I think he'll make the right decision for his family, and we'll see what it is, and we'll respect it, whatever it is. Mikey did not magically get a conscience. His wife is best friends with EK. Wouldn't he only have said that to Candace about AK trying to get her scent off himself and pretend like he was an ally? I doubt it. I don't know, but I doubt it. This was filed expecting dismissal. What's the end game with Candace? Public smear, narrative shaping, or strategy in the beginning stages? All the above and more. That's it. I mean, get it out there. Try to run cover on the Fort Huachuca story. I said an illegal pleading, well, wasn't there? So get that out of the way. Get the headlines. You need all the headlines. Candace smoked him on the headlines, though. Holy mackerel. I'm on call for federal jury duty. On the schedule, it says JT, 5/11/26. Is this the date that jury selection begins, or the date they want the jury already in place to begin the trial? That's a good question for the court system. I have no idea, and I don't want to give you the wrong answer. I've never been on a jury. Shawnee dropping 20 membos, guys. Wow. Shawnee, thank you. 20 people will now have access to our discussion of the Bayal room that we had the other day. It was a fun show. I thought we had a good time with that. That was Tuesday, if you missed it. Plus the interview with Trigger, the interview with Coach. Like, there's a lot on the member side. A lot of fun over there. Thank you, Shawnee. Excellent work as always. Love the voices and the acting. Fleet, hopefully we'll have a field day. Keep up the great work, and happy early Mother's Day to Mrs. C. Yeah, she's a great. I saw Erica saying people were saying she couldn't be CEO, but really can't be the front person. Charlie took years to become Charlie. That's correct. The problem isn't being CEO. The problem is they keep trotting her out, and she's weird. This lawsuit is the dumbest thing they could have done. Now he's opened himself, security team up for discovery. This plays right into Candace's hands. Agreed. What if Mikey doesn't have a conscience and is an evil genius who planted seeds dependent on him as a fall guy? That would be evil genius. In my head on repeat, I keep hearing AK say to Megyn Kelly, everyone handles guilt differently. Yes, they do. They do. I thought all along the reason Mikey McCoy walked away from the scene so quickly was because he couldn't bear to look. Charlie was his mentor. Mikey loved him. JMO. Yeah. I didn't see it. I was doing a show. I can't always read the comments while I do the show. Super late, but just watch Candace, and she loves you and the way you operate. So happy to see all my favorite truth tellers connecting. Many prayers. Thank you. Gary Milton and his 45 followers. You made my day as always. Did I say that? Oh, gosh. Oh, man. Baron, do you still believe that CK neck could have been broken in the vehicle going to the hospital, or has your opinion changed? And if so, what do you think? Any physical damage was done to CK on the way to the hospital? I don't know. I mean, my opinion? Sure, it could have been. I mean, he was in the car for a long time. I mean, it could have been. It would have been we wouldn't have the suspicion if they would have kept him there, immobilized him, tried to stop the bleeding there, and brought an ambulance. So we wouldn't even have the suspicion. TPUSA and country elites everywhere permanently destroying cell phones and laptops the second CO went live. Yeah, probably. You're incredible, Baron. Your IQ, humor, communication ability. Have you come across Dr. Reichhammer? I have not. Developed cancer after his son tragically died, led to discovery of biological laws regarding roots of disease, jailed, findings suppressed. Well, that doesn't surprise me if that's true. Doesn't surprise me at all. Wow, Brian? Brian Frank on Facebook. If you want to find Brian, he's on Facebook. Thank you. Very generous. Candace said Trump isn't Jewish, except he is. Descended from Ashkenazi Jews and has lied to the public ever since he came on scene. Part of why his mom called him an idiot. He isn't smart enough, but he was influential enough to keep his blabbermouth in view. Those in the no understand. I've never heard that. That's the first time I've ever heard that. I guess that would be through his mother, because his dad, I don't think was. I don't know. Thank you. I can say that. I know that. I'm very thankful. Thank you. Baron, please request to draft the initial discovery request for Candace's lawyers into Harpole. There isn't another lawyer in the country I trust who knows the TPUSA shenaniganry. I'm inventing that word, shenaniganry, like you do. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'd be happy to weigh in. Am I the only one worried this is a setup? Like they got hold of anything incriminating but kept select proof on a few claims they're able to actually refute, and then they'll just say, see, she was wrong about everything. Yeah, but people do weird things in 7-hour-long depositions. My company is same. Huge insurance company, not a shred of paper. No printers, nothing. I loved it by the end. I was freaked out the first year or two. I was freaked out for a while, but by the end, I was in love with it. Absolutely in love. 69 didn't get past me. Come on. Can't say that. Pull my leg. Shouldn't say that. Don't be silly. Once again. Oh, my gosh. I just say stuff, guys. I don't know. Oh, man, that's funny. It should be illegal that we have this much fun on one show. Oh, my gosh. Thank you. Keep going, Baron and Candace. Will do. Thank you. Box went straight to you, no bugs. We got an answer. Here, what did I do? Yeah, you bugged the box. You bugged my bird box. Are you listening, FBI? Are you listening, TPUSA? I didn't do it. Andrew did. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't do it. But Mikey thinks he did. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. They should never allow this much fun to be had on the air. Yes, Baron. Moon landing was fake and indeed gay at 8:28 Eastern time for reference. Great start to the show. That's 11:52 Eastern time now. Sorry about the delay there. I have to thank God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit for my TBI in 2018, airlifted to ICU, where I detoxed off of heroin. It's a miracle, and I count a joy to learn and laugh with you again today. Thank you. Sometimes God has to smack you in the face, right? Business and Web Crumbs of Loretta, reference 9/11. Harpole's lawsuit lists the year 2011 instead of 2001. And after losing TPUSA as a client, he only asked for that amount. Well, that's a minimum, not a maximum. It's like a speed limit. It's a maximum, not a minimum. Grumblers are not yoking around. This chat is sunny side up, even though I can only eat eggs with ketchup because yuck, and not a favorite of mine. We're not bad eggs. We're just a little scrambled. Dom, you also commented on the YouTube side, so I don't want to hear it. Don't act like you can't find me. Ms. Weedman, this lawsuit either makes Brian the dumbest smart person or the smartest dumb person. Let's all chant it. Discovery, discovery, discovery. Give us a Hail Mary. It would be remarkable to get the discovery. Candace sent me. Oh, MD Turner Inaz. Candace sent me. Again, MD Turner Inaz. Thank you. A lot of eggs in the chat. What's going on in the chat? What's up with the eggs? Is this a joke about me being slow getting to the grumblers? Thank you for not holding your tongue with the Mikey McCoy. Candace and CK in a boat on the water fishing, baited the hook, cast out and hooked a big fish. Keep on reeling in. I'll do my best. Thank you. Grumblers, I'm sorry, I'm slow. Guys, we had a lot of supers tonight. I was not able to get to all of them. I promise you I'll read them all. I have to be up at 4 a.m., maybe 4:30. But I'm going to stay up and read them. It's 11 o'clock now. So don't feel like you're shortchanged. I absolutely am going to see all of them. But I got to roll. It's we're pushing 4 hours. Way past my 3-hour target time. I usually try to have like a backup target time of 3.5 hours. We're way past it. Thank you. That's all I can say is thank you. We had fun. but we had serious and we got educated. We had a serious time and we got educated. Learned a few things along the way as well. So thank you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for showing up night in and night out. I'll be back Sunday. I will not have a member show tomorrow. I won't be back until Sunday night. Pray for me this weekend. We got a lot going on. I'll pray for you, the guys who are asking for prayers in the comments. And remember, don't forget, even when we're having fun, you can't forget. Jesus loves you. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. And stay safe out there. Stay safe out there. If you have any plans or anything, be safe. See you.